Hello, fellow homebrewers. JP here, and I want to introduce to you the brand new Brew-Built X1 Conical Series available at More Beer. More Beer sells the highest standard in homebrewing equipment, and the Brew-Built Conicals are just that. They're made from mirror-polished 304 stainless steel, and they come with loads of features that you and I have been looking for. They have a full 2-inch bottom dump valve, which will eliminate your clogging issues, while the sturdy base includes 4 reinforced legs, just like those big Pro tanks do. More Beer also carries the Brew-Built line of options and add-ons like casters, pressure kits, and even external glycol chillers. So you can find out more about the new Brew-Built X1 Conical Unitanks by going over to morebeer.com for detailed videos on the entire line of Brew-Built Conicals. You can trust Brew-Built with your next fermentation, and you can trust More Beer to find the right conical for you. Brew-Built at morebeer.com.
The Brewing Network Sunday Session is brought to you by Homebrewing Superheroes, the fine folks at More Beer. Visit them online at morebeer.com.
I poured it in my mouth and it just wasn't going down.
My first beer was an IPA, the best IPA I've ever drank, mostly because I brewed it.
If you have a scale that is good for measuring cocaine, you're probably good for measuring hops on cocaine.
You're scaring me.
I think the information is awesome and the audio sucks.
Make some sugary water, throw some yeast in there.
And you're going to drink good beer.
Yeah, it's going to be good beer. It's fine.
God damn it, man. Oh, my God. Oh, uh-oh.
Now, live from the Brewing Network studios in Northern California, this is the radio program for home brewers, craft brewers, beer lovers, and beer geeks. It's your only source for live beer radio that brings expert brewers together with, well, expert drinkers. This is the radio program with a head on it. This is The Session.
Bevo, you couldn't drop a deuce at your own house. You had to come here, and we're trying to start the show. Everyone's going, "Where's Bevo?"
Yeah.
And the only indication is that we have is that through the wall we can just kind of hear. And we're going, "Where's Bevo?" Well, she must be in the bathroom again.
Okay, that didn't really happen, and I was reading a magazine.
Of course you were. Yeah. That's what we all do when we're dropping a deuce.
That's why there's magazines in the bathroom, Bevo.
Yeah,
because it's a handy library.
So you were getting through our Penthouse collection, were you? Bevo. Coming over here and dropping a big steamer.
I know, man.
Pacheco.
And then dragging it in a little bit. You get the backdraft.
You and JP both. Why do you guys come to my house to drop your shits? Why can't you do it at your own place?
Hey, I've only ever done that once in almost 5 years. It was only once. And I had to.
And it still lingers. That's why I feel like it happens all the time.
It permeates the grout. And then when it's warm, it comes out.
There's a no heat and Pacheco rule I got to instill.
That's fine.
Tasty doesn't come over here and do his business. He does that in the comfort of his own house.
Generally, I do.
Generally.
Yeah.
No, I never have here, actually.
And now at Studio B is so close to the bathroom.
To the heater.
Oh, yeah.
To the heat, yeah. It's like a hot box in this room.
Well, I could just go out, I guess, in the backyard, and you'll never know the difference between me and Walker.
That's true.
That's a big dog.
Yeah.
Laying big logs.
Well, I'm a lot more comfortable here. Sam used to live here. I've used those facilities several times.
Sure. You've stained those before Chad even stained those things.
To wash up.
True.
It's actually a different toilet. Altogether.
It is, I know.
Yeah.
Actually, Sam had to replace that, too, because Sam broke the previous toilet.
I think it was one of Sam's stupid friends.
Yeah. They were like throwing drugs down it or something. Got all caught up inside. I don't remember what happened. Somebody's crack pipe got caught in there. I remember that something got caught in the toilet, and Sam had to take the toilet out. And because he's cheap, he didn't want to buy another toilet.
Yeah.
He dug around in that thing, down in the pipe, for 4 hours out in the front yard. You could smell it.
Yeah, I remember that.
He's digging around in that thing for 4 hours. Finally, I'm like, Sam, that thing ain't coming out of there, man.
Yeah.
You're going to have to bite the bullet and go buy a new toilet.
Yeah, that was bad.
Maybe it was Bevo flushing Sam's balls down the toilet. Never having these back.
Whoosh.
I think it would happen just on his own accord. They dangle that low. All right. Hey, welcome to the show, everybody.
Yeah, that's a good start.
We do have a good show for you today, too. Stan Hieronymus is on the program with us today, and he is one of the best beer authors in the world.
For sure.
He's written or participated in at least 10 books, and he's got a new one out called Brewing with Wheat, and Stan's going to come on with us and talk about brewing with wheat. So, it'll be good.
That's a good topic.
I've never brewed a wheat beer because I'm a little wheat intolerant.
Yeah.
I can have it in small amounts, but I get Yuki the next day is what
That's
happens.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
You and Mufasa, the only two people I've ever heard of.
Yeah, we get Yuki.
Ever.
But I still actually appreciate the style, and I'm interested to learn about the history of it and how to brew with wheat. So if you've got wheat questions today, 888-401-BEER, or you can join Bevo in the chat room. Bevo's back with us this week, obviously. And I heard a rumor about you, Bevo.
Oh, good.
I heard that when you... everyone knows that you're kind of a nerd with the Harry Potter and all that stuff.
Yes, I am super nerdy. Yeah.
I heard that when you showed up at the last Harry Potter screening, you wore a Harry Potter outfit. You were dressed up as Harry Potter to go to this thing?
No, not exactly.
Come on, Beef.
No, really, true. I didn't go to the theater dressed as Harry Potter, but me and a group of my friends all went together. My friends who are equally as nerdy as I am, and I thought it would be funny when they all got to the house to don my attire and come out and show them. And
I see. But you didn't wear it to the theater.
No, but everybody else was, so I felt like I could have, and I would have just been...
But you have the outfit.
Well, it's
you own it. It just happened to be
but
there.
It's a homemade outfit. But yes, I do own a cape and a wand.
Okay. The fact that it's homemade doesn't make it any less nerdy. It makes it more nerdy because you spent the time.
Remember that time when you quested every minute that you had of your entire life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
you know what?
Shut it.
Half an hour before you got here.
And I got a pet in game. It's a little pug. So I actually got something
you now
instead
have a pet?
of shit. Okay. And we're focusing on her now.
Yeah, but you just revealed that you now have a pet.
I have several pets.
I have a pet, too. I have an iPet. They're delightful.
All right. Enough out of you two.
But
JP doesn't understand that we could be like best friends because I am just as nerdy as he is. I just hide it under a pretty exterior.
Mm-hmm. Well, you even put a scar on.
Yeah, no. It was actually, if you go to my Facebook page, it's in the.
You have photos of it.
There's photos of it. Yeah.
All right, everybody, go to Bevo's Facebook page.
Bevo Barrymore.
You can check out her Harry Potter garb. Normally, I would find this sort of thing hot, but Harry Potter, that's not hot. That's just.
I didn't think any of those
nerdy.
photos you can see her Harry Potter.
Did we mention that this was the midnight preview of Harry Potter?
Right.
That I went to.
Of course. No, that doesn't surprise
Tasty's
me.
impressed.
I just didn't realize that you'd bring it to the next level. But all right. Okay. So a couple other things happening on today's show.
When I go see the Wolfman, I'm not going to shave my back. I'm going to go naked. Just because,
be good.
You got to get into the spirit of things.
Are you going to grow that side hair yet? You do that for Wolfman.
I should, man. I should have thought about it.
Just side hair.
Side hair.
Keep the top empty and just the side hair. Like,
the top's empty. Don't worry about that.
Like George Jefferson, you know? Like, you could be the white George Jefferson.
Krusty the Clown.
All right. Also on today's show, we're doing a new thing this year that I'm actually proud of that we're doing.
Good radio?
We're going to do some good radio. I'm real proud of it.
All right.
Well, every couple of 3 years, there is an AHA governing committee election. As you all know and have been completely unsupportive, I am running for the governing committee this year.
I keep forgetting that, damn.
But there are also 8 other candidates. And what we're doing is to get a little bit more exposure and to let everybody have a venue to speak and to let you know why they want to run for the committee, why they want to be on the committee, how they can help you when they're on the American Homebrewers Association board. We're going to allow each one of them a little bit of time to speak on the show. And we did it with Jake from Northern Brewer, Jake Keeler. He spoke a little bit about it when he did his show with us. And today we've got 2 more candidates. We're going to have 2 candidates on every show from now until Election Day, which I believe is like midnight on the 30th. Midnight March 30th. So everybody gets a voice. It's not fair for me to stand up here every Sunday and say vote for me, although I will.
You're right.
But we're letting everybody, because I want you can read their profiles if you go to the website already, and that's just there's a new website, by the way. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's real nice. homebrewersassociation.org. Just go to homebrewersassociation.org, and you can read everybody's profile there, everybody that's running, and they tell you a little bit about themselves. But we're going to hear it straight from the horse's mouth here on the show today, too. So today we've got Michael Fairbrother. He's going to be on the program here in just a couple minutes, and we'll hear why he's running for the committee. And then also Drew Beecham, our old friend Drew, is on the show. He's going to do, since he's on the Pacific Coast with us,
yes,
he'll do it late in the show. So around 7:15-ish, we'll be talking to Drew about why he's running yet again, because he's already on the committee.
Oh, he is on the committee.
Yeah, I think what happens is you are allowed a 3-year term, and then if you want to run again, you just say so. You don't have to be nominated or anything. You're automatically on the ballot if you want to run again. And you're allowed to do 3 consecutive terms. So 9 years. So we're very much like Africa, where you can stay the president of a country like almost forever.
If you have enough guns and enough people, you can stay the president for as long as you want.
Not like Nigeria over there at the AHA. So Drew, I don't know. We'll have to find out which term he's working on, but you're allowed 3 years at a time.
Right.
And then your term is for 3 years, and you can do 3 of them consecutively. We'll find out what Drew's running for. I don't know. What if he's on? What if he's already been on there for 6 years? I'm gonna have to talk to him about that.
His last shining moment.
No, I'm sure Drew's wonderful at it. The guy's the biggest beer geek I know. So
I do notice that there's a fan page on Facebook floating around that I'm voting for Justin Crossley for.
Oh, there is?
AHA. Yeah, and it has.
I haven't seen that.
It has a real douchey picture of you. Well, it has a picture of you with this flowing hair and this awful cowboy hat on, and you're grinning like a Schumann. And I'm not going to be a fan of it.
Are you serious right now?
Yes.
What do I have to search for that?
I'm sure if I don't know.
Do I search my own name?
Sure. I think you can search for like fan pages or groups.
I didn't know I had a fan page. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
That is a douchey picture.
It's a douchey picture.
How many fans you got?
I have 87 fans on the Justin Crossley for AHA Governing Committee Representative page.
As far as I know, only 30 people vote in this thing, so you're a lock.
Yeah, you're a lock.
Yeah.
Who started this fan page?
You can probably look at the administrator if you get into the page. It'll tell you on the right there.
Should I add it to my own favorites? Am I allowed to favorite my own?
No, it's like voting for yourself. No, you can't really do that. Right?
With that picture on there, who's going to vote for that?
That's what
great.
I'm saying. I'm staying away from it.
I wonder, maybe I should change the douchey picture every day. I have lots of douchey pictures around. See if I can.
They should all be baby pictures of you.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
This is wonderful. I didn't know I had a fan page. All right, so you can.
Doc has a fan page. You might as well have one.
He has his own fan page?
Well, it's the.
it's friend Doc before Justin page. Yeah, that I knew about.
Yeah.
This is exciting. All right.
You're hitting the big time, man.
Yeah, I'm a friend on there.
Yeah. All right, let me get through a couple other quick announcements, and then we'll get to Michael. We'll talk about his running. We'll see if he has a fan page.
I will start one if he doesn't.
All right, you can subscribe and join the BN Army, and that doesn't really do much for you, except enter you into the More Beer donation giveaway, which we do every month. And since we haven't done it in a month or two, we're actually doing 2 raffles this week. So we're not doing it live on today's show, but we will be doing the drawing this week. We will email our 2 winners. What we're giving away is 4 corny cakes delivered to your home. That's right, 4 corny cakes delivered to your home. I think if you're an international subscriber and you win, we end up giving you like the value of them at More Beer instead.
Yes, which the value will drop if you're international for some reason. It'd be real weird.
I don't know how that happens. Yeah. You get like $8.
Yeah.
So that's a great prize actually. So 4 corny kegs, we will ship them to your door within the continental U.S. and everybody else will get credit. And then the second raffle we're doing is a $100 gift certificate to Beer, and More Beer. So some great prizes. So if you sign up for as little as $2 a month, then you're automatically entered into these things, and you could win a $100 gift certificate and or a full 4 corny kegs.
Yeah, rebuilt, reconditioned.
Oh, so they're like ready to go.
They're ready to go. You have to, you should probably clean them.
I'm not just going to send you some rusty things, though.
Yeah, but all the gaskets are changed and the outsides are washed and the insides are washed. So
that's great.
Very little work you have to do on these things.
All right, so that drawing is taking place this week, and we will notify our winners. I will tweet the winners to congratulate you. I will also email each of you, and then you'll get to work with More Beer's very own Jason J.P. Petros to get you your prizes.
Who will probably pass you off to somebody else.
So the only way you can do that is by becoming a member of the BN Army. Just hit the subscribe button on the donate page. The other thing you can do to help us out is buy Brew Your Own magazine. Did you guys see our ad in it? Brew Your Own magazine, the new issue is out.
Yeah,
and
it looks great.
The Brewing Network has a quarter-page ad.
It's about friggin' time.
In the BYO magazine. It's beautiful.
I didn't see it.
It says things about us and stuff.
Is my name in it?
No.
Nah, I don't care.
But you can buy Brew Your Own magazine, not just to see our ad, but to read wonderful articles from our own Jamil Zainasheff. He's their style editor, as well as some of the other people who do the show all the time. You might find Drew in BYO every now and then. It's a great magazine, and if you buy it through our site, just hit the BYO logo right there on our homepage, and you get a great magazine. We get half your cash. It's a really cool deal. All right, sign up for all these announcements on Twitter, at twitter.com/Brewing Network, and, of course, over on Facebook. Send your show ideas to Chad at thebrewingnetwork.com, CHAD at thebrewingnetwork.com. Send your feedback to feedback at thebrewingnetwork.com. And let's go to Michael Fairbrother, who is running for the AHA Governing Committee.
Michael Fairbrother.
Are you there, Michael?
Yes, I am, Justin. How are you?
I'm doing great. Hey, it's nice to talk to you,
What's
brother.
happening, Michael?
Hey, JP, how are you?
I'm good, man. Good.
JP claimed before the show that you two are friends, Michael. Would you like to deny that?
No, I wouldn't. I think I've known JP now for about 6 years.
How many years?
6.
6 years. Good Lord.
Man has a brew sculpture. What do you want?
Yeah. Michael, I've just discovered that I have a fan page for my running for the committee on Facebook. Do you have one of those yet?
I guess not.
I think you better get to work. I think you better get to work on that. I'm going to win by a landslide with my own fan page.
Yeah.
You know.
I've only tried for 5 years, so maybe I'll lose again.
Have you really? You've run 5 years now.
Yes.
Oh, now I'm going to feel terrible if I bump Michael.
Man.
Maybe I should make Michael my running mate.
And Michael's like the nicest guy.
Yeah.
And you're not. So.
And I'm like the biggest dick in brewing.
Yeah.
And Michael here for 5 years now. Wow. Now, you can go, like I said, you can go to homebrewersassociation.org and you can read everybody's profile. And, Michael, you have a scary picture on your profile.
Yeah, that's back when I was bench pressing 400 pounds.
Is that right?
Yeah.
See, I don't want to piss off Michael either.
No.
He's a big guy, right? Where do you live, Michael?
Londonderry, New Hampshire.
Where are you at? Sorry?
Londonderry, New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. All right. Sorry, got a bad connection here. All right, well, tell us a little bit about why, and I guess for the past 5 years, why do you want to be on the governing committee?
So I've been very active in the homebrewing community here in New Hampshire for 15 years. And, I'm an executive. I care about homebrewing. I'm starting my own meadery this summer. And, I've been doing a lot of competitions. I'm a BJCP judge. And it's something I'm really passionate about. I'm an executive. I think I can bring the spirit of homebrewing to the AHA. I know most of the people on the governing committee, and I know several dozen professional brewers. I don't know. I think I can bring my passion to it and do it well.
It sounds like you do have a lot to offer, actually. I'm reading through your resume here, which is on the homebrewersassociation.org site, and you're also a mead fan. You just created and organized a brand new mead competition out there in New England, too, right?
Right. It's our second annual Mead for Your Die is coming up this April. We had 176 entries last year. We're probably tied or close to the largest competition in the country.
Okay. See, now, this is one of the reasons, from what I understand about the governing committee, what we get to do is we get a lot of input about how to get people involved. There are also subcommittees. There's a competition committee. So there's a lot of, organizing input that needs to be put in. It sounds to me like Michael has that between the competitions he's put together, being the president of his club. Are you the president of your club now?
Yes, I am. I just got reelected president of Brew for Your Die.
Wow.
We're almost up to 80 members. One of our members won the long shot competition last year, Mike Robinson.
Oh, right.
The previous member won the Patriot Homebrew competition, had his beers on at Gillette Stadium. So, yeah, we're a very active club, and we now have 5 bourbon barrels that we're aging beers in. So it's quite a bit of beer we're putting out there.
I'll vote for you if we get to try that.
Yeah.
Michael. I just want to try some of that beer.
I think he just exploded.
Yeah.
There goes that barrel.
Did you just get snowed in, Michael?
Yeah, there's a lot of snow coming in.
Man. I think he just got buried under a snowplow out there in New Hampshire. Well, on top of all those reasons, I think Michael will kick your ass if you don't vote for him. He can bench press everybody in this room.
Twice.
What can you bench press now? I consider this part of your qualifications.
Platform.
I've gotten a little bit older. I'm down to about 275.
Damn it. Bench press. I couldn't even roll 275 down a hill.
Yeah, I could barely carry it to my car, and that's my body.
That's with 6 trips, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you sound like a great candidate to me, Michael, and you have been involved in homebrewing for a long time, longer than me. If you've been doing it for 15 years, I love to see that. I like that you're registered as a BJCP judge. That also shows some commitment. And you have a good resume here that everybody can read over at homebrewersassociation.org. And I hope this is your year, Michael. I might have to vote for you now, just because you...
I got to smack talk all these other guys, Justin and Drew. Come on. I outbrew these guys.
Well, that's a given. Everybody knows that.
I've had some of his beers.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Maybe not Drew. I don't know if you can outbrew. You probably outbrew Drew, too, but outbrewing me, that's like out bench pressing me. Your 5-year-old daughter could probably do it.
It's like walking ahead of you in line. It's like, oh, it's easy. I can.
Yeah. But what else you got? Come on, you can smack talk better than that. You've been brewing longer than me, that's for sure.
Let's see. I've got 23% alcohol meads going right now. I've got probably 100 gallons of mead going in my basement.
Wow.
I've got probably 3 55-gallon drums of beer. Let's see, we got a Russian Imperial Stout, an Old Ale. We just finished up a Lambic, and I just finished up running the Patriot Homebrew Competition. Got Long Shot coming up. Mead Free or Die, New England Regional Homebrew Competition. Brew Free or Die is one of the best clubs in the country. You'll be hearing a lot more about us, so.
All right, I'd like to hear more. Chad, he outbrews everybody in this room.
I believe it. He's also got like a full-blown pub in his house. If you look at his website, he's got some great pictures.
Really?
Yeah. It's awesome.
I got 10 taps on draft right now.
Oh, boy. That's a lot.
Not counting the beer engine.
I only have 4 taps, and I don't have any mead. Never mind 100 gallons of mead. I'm going to have to go buy some mead.
Yeah.
To compete.
Just to have it.
Yeah, you really are a mead guy, though. That's a lot.
Yeah. I'm working on opening a meadery. I've gotten zoning approval and just filing the paperwork now.
Oh, that's great.
That's cool.
You don't do those battles, do you? You know, where everybody dresses up like they're in the medieval times,
like they're in Harry Potter,
and they all drink mead. You know what I'm talking about? They do them out in the East Coast there.
I can't say I've done that.
That's good. You would have lost.
You should try it.
I seem to enjoy the fruit flavored mead, so.
All right.
I think he just talked some smack about reenactors.
I think so. I had a question from the chat room for you, Michael.
Sure.
Zion Curtin in the chat room. He wants to know, what's the worst beer you ever brewed? Got a story about that?
Worst beer I ever brewed.
Was the one I couldn't last? I don't know.
Geez, I think it was probably one of the first beers I made. I tried making a stout with raspberries in it. It came out horrible.
Really?
Raspberries had bread Messiahs on it, and didn't come out very well at all.
Oh, I probably would have liked it. Put a little, put some Brett in there. That sounds good to me. But
if you do it in the right way,
that could be disastrous.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, well, you can vote for Michael by going to homebrewersassociation.org. Right there on the homepage, you'll see a Vote Now button. It's clear as day. You can click on each of the candidates' profiles. You can read Michael's there. He's from Londonderry, New Hampshire, and you can vote for him. He's been running for a long time now, and he's committed to the homebrewing community, as far as I can tell, and would be a great candidate. So,
lifetime member.
What's that?
I said I'm a lifetime member.
Oh, that's right. See, I'm only like a 3-year member, but I'm cheap. I'll just keep renewing it.
And a New England guy, you got to love that. Come on.
Chad likes that.
I love that.
You might get Chad's vote just for being a New England guy.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right. JP's going to start your Facebook fan page, Mike.
I'll do that.
Cool. I'll friend that.
All right. Thanks very much for being on the program, Michael, and good luck to you.
All right. Thanks, guys. Take care.
All right, Mike. See you, man.
All right. Yeah, might be a listener.
He is a listener.
Bruce Strong.
Yeah. He's a good dude.
I think they're all good dudes. I think we're going to have a lot of fun getting to talk to the candidates. And
Drew,
I'm going to end up feeling bad for everybody who doesn't get nominated.
No, Drew's an asshole.
Except
Michael's
for
a
Drew.
good guy.
Yeah. Everyone else is great.
Yeah.
Drew's a real jerk.
Yeah.
We'll hear from Drew later on in the program.
Oh, Drew's a nice guy.
You'll get to tell
You're
him.
the jerk.
You get to tell him everything you want to say to him.
Oh, good.
He'll be on about 7:15 after we finish with Stan. All right, another thing I need to tell you about, one of our new sponsors, and just a great product to endorse that I want to talk about is Beersmith. That's right, the brewing software Beersmith. It's come up a lot on this program over the last couple of years. Everyone always asks, Beersmith or that other program. What's it called? ProMash. I don't even use it so much, I can't remember its name. See what I'm saying? I don't even use it so much.
Yes, so much.
I don't even speak English so much that I can't do it correctly.
Please to enjoy.
Yes. All right. Well, with Beersmith, you can easily design world-class beers at home. It's really easy to use. Not only that, you get a free 21-day trial version. There are video tutorials over at beersmith.com. People have asked us to do a show about how to use these brewing programs, and you don't even need a whole show if you can just go watch the video tutorials over at beersmith.com. Right. Takes all the guesswork out of it. You can really get everything you need to make the best beer possible.
Great blog, too, by the way.
Yeah, and I did, after I sort of bitched about us not being on the blog the last time, it turns out we are going to be on the blog.
Oh, really?
I just haven't returned his email. It's my fault. He sent me a whole interview to be on the blog, and I didn't return it. It's my fault. I got to get back to that. You can schedule your brewing activities with an integrated calendar. You can track inventory if you want to keep grains on hand. You can go shopping, add a recipe's ingredients to the shopping list with a single click, print it out, and head on down to the store. Over 300 recipes are available right there on the Beersmith recipe site, and thousands more across the web. It's compatible with all of the recipe formats, so you can build recipes quickly, and it's just really easy to use. And I really like just the way it looks, too. It kind of looks and feels clean and easy. Makes me feel like a professional when I'm brewing.
Yeah, easy to sort. Yeah, it's great. Real clean layout.
I'll tell you, if it can make me feel like a professional when I'm brewing, that's a damn good program right there. So go over to Beersmith, check it out, beersmith.com, and get your free 21-day trial version. If you don't like it, well, throw it away. I think you're going to like it. Check it out.
Absolutely.
Okay. How's everybody doing?
Great.
We all right?
Good.
I think we're good. I think we need a beer, though.
I think you guys do need a beer.
Nobody has a beer.
I'm not drinking a beer.
The only one, everyone's sick in here. Chad and Tasty have had throat AIDS for a week.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you
Something
two?
like
I don't have anything wrong with my throat. Chad does.
Yeah, I don't know what's
that
going
means
on.
he's,
I don't know. I got some Can You Brew It recordings that say otherwise, Tasty.
Even just right now.
No throat.
You're sounding scratchy, brother.
My throat's pretty good.
It is?
It's my chest.
No.
It's kind of full of stuff.
Your ample chest.
So you guys haven't been partaking in the cousin lately, have you?
No, not possible.
No.
It's
Not possible.
Not even in cookie form? No cookies?
Well, the kitchen's
can
still
do.
open, yeah.
I see. Okay. I was like, come on, cold turkey?
Yeah, that ain't happening.
These two in cold sweats over there.
Cold cookies.
All right, I'm glad everybody's doing well. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it's time to visit with Stan Hieronymus. He's got a new book out, Brewing with Wheat. And, I haven't read the whole book yet, but I did thumb through a good portion of it. And you know what? It's a badass book.
It's really, really well
in
written.
true Hieronymus style. He's Brew Like a Monk. They're all great. They're all on my favorite bookshelf. So I'm excited to talk to Stan when we come back. Get your questions over to Bevo in the chat room while you still can. Hit the chat now button. All right, we'll be right back. Hang in there.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. On the Brewing Network.
Hey, Push, the new brewery's looking good.
Thanks, Finn. Piece by piece.
Well, let's fire her up. Whoa! Is that a new kettle?
Yeah, just got it brand new, but paid half price.
What? And that blade scale?
40% off.
The new tap handle?
$5 instead of $13. Got a new regulator for the brew stand, too, but $5 instead of $25.
Dude, where are you stealing all this stuff from?
Where else? The More Beer deal of the day.
Announcing the Beer, Beer, and More Beer deal of the day. Every day, a new fantastic deal from big items to small that will blow you away. Boil kettles, carboy carriers, sterile siphon starters, digital timers. Watch morebeer.com every day for a new deal, and you just might find the item you've been waiting for at a price you cannot believe. Hurry, because stock is limited on most items.
And that sweet Guinness cap, let me guess. The More Beer deal of the day. Yeah, I knew it. Come on, let's brew something. Find the More Beer deal of the day at morebeer.com. Celebrity voices impersonated.
What's up, dude? Why the long face?
Dude, I don't know what I'm going to do for Valentine's Day. Last year, the World of Warcraft subscription was a strikeout.
Ooh, yeah, I hear ya. A couple of years ago, the new Hoover I got my wife was a bomb, too. But last year, I found playfulevenings.com.
What? What's that?
You know, Mrs. Badrock's store. It's awesome. Totally tasteful passion toys.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What's a passion toy?
You know, it's central aid in the bedroom.
Ooh.
All kinds of stuff. Massage oils, couples games, lingerie, and books.
Books?
Yeah. Where do you think Ticklish Pickle came from?
Yeah, boy.
Seriously. Fun stuff, and Mrs. Badrock takes care of the BN Army with 10% off. Go to playfulevenings.com and click on Shop Online now. Put BN Army in the coupon code.
Playfulevenings.com. Thanks, Mrs. Badrock. You're a lifesaver.
BN Army, it's Valentine's Day all year long at playfulevenings.com. There's an app on the iPhone for just about everything, including beer. Apps for finding a pint of beer. Apps that look like you're drinking a pint of beer. And now, there's an app for brewing a pint of beer. Introducing BrewPal, the most all-inclusive beer brewing app for professionals and hobbyists that fits in your pocket and goes wherever you do. Recipe formulation that can be imported and exported with a customizable database. Mash and sparge calculations, yeast pitching rates, carbonation tables, and more. Available right now for less coin than a pound of grain. See BrewPal in action at brewpal.info and download it for your iPhone at a special introductory price right now. BrewPal, all the brewing software you need, right in your pocket.
Have you ever noticed the pathetic look on the face of the Brewcaster poster boy? That's the look of a child that survives on ramen noodles and home brew. Subprime Meltdown doesn't even begin to describe what this kid has been through. He lives this grim existence for his army, the Brewing Network Army. Times are tough for everybody. It's like getting stuck in time 2 days before payday. Cash is tighter than a posted IOU stuck in a stripper's sweaty G-string. The unicorn's horn is limp and the rainbow has lost its color. But you can help change all that. If you were to take that sparkling change in your pocket and plop it on the table for the BN instead of that extra pint at happy hour, then the world could be a brighter place. When you buy a round for the BN, you buy a round for yourself and your fellow soldiers, and that's what it's all about. That and being entered into the reoccurring donor monthly raffle. So step up and start your own economic stimulus package. For just a few bucks a month, you can stimulate the unicorn, the rainbow, and a brewcaster. Hit that donate button just like you'd hit on that crazy bitch at the bar right after last call. You'll be really happy about it in the morning.
This is www.thebrewingnetwork.com.
Sit down next to it, grab yourself a paper towel, and watch those yeast have sex.
You're listening to the Brewing Network. And now, back to the Brewcasters.
All right, welcome back to the program. Thanks to Michael Fairbrother for being on the show. Don't forget to go and vote for your AHA candidates over at homebrewersassociation.org. And there's 4 spots open, so you can vote for 4 different people. You're going to hear from each one of them here on the program. So if you want to wait until close to the end, till after you've heard everybody, that's fine by me. Mm-hmm. And we'll get everybody on. I think our last air date is March 21st. And then there's a vote after that. So.
Are you rocking the vote right now? Trying to get everybody out to vote.
I think I am rocking the vote.
It's your future.
I think we have the potential, and this is the part I said where I am really kind of excited about this. I think we have the potential to get more people involved in voting for the governing committee this year than ever before.
Yeah.
And that could be solely because of the Brewing Network. How about that? How exciting is that?
Well, in the past, the only way I've ever really heard that elections were even coming up is someone would post it on the forum.
Right.
Just like on the More Beer forum, or just somebody like, hey, did you remember there's voting? I have no idea.
And if I lose this year, that's also the only way you're ever going to hear about it again.
That's
true.
true.
I will never do this again.
Yes.
No, I'm kidding. I actually really enjoy that we can get this out there. I think there will be a record number of voters. Yeah. Keep in mind, you do have to be an AHA member to vote. And a great way to sign up for the AHA is also through the Brewing Network. You can hit the AHA logo. It's just below the BYO logo there on our homepage. And sign up through us for 1 year, 3 years. I think you can even sign up as a lifetime member there.
You sure can.
And we get a little portion of that. And it's just a great way to show that you came to the Homebrewers Association through the Brewing Network. Helps us. It's a great way to keep getting the word out. All right. I'm a little nervous about Stan.
He's a big dog, man.
He is a big dog, and I'm a big fan of his books. Hey, Stan, are you with us?
Yes.
I'm so happy to have you on the show with us. Thank you for taking the time.
It's my pleasure.
So Stan Hieronymus is, if you don't know this name yet, go look.
Look at a book.
Yeah, go search beer book right now. The man, is it something like 10 books you've either written or been involved with now, Stan?
Actually, it's a little bit more than that, but who's counting?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, is this all you do, Stan, is write about beer?
Occasionally I drink it.
Good. Good. I like to hear that. Didn't you just do some big, national tour? Didn't you just jump in the RV with the family and just go beer hunting for the last year or something?
It wasn't a beer hunting tour. It's a family adventure we started planning about 4 years before we did it. And by pure chance, we occasionally came across beer, though.
Of course.
That's weird how that happens.
By sheer chance.
It's a lot easier than it would have been 20 years before.
I see. Yeah. So are you retired, Stan?
No.
No. You just took
you want to drink beer, you got to keep working.
That's true. What did you do before you were able to travel and write about beer?
Both my wife and I work for newspapers.
Okay.
And we decided to, when we quit our jobs, which was about 20 years ago, at newspapers, we sort of thought it would be short-term, and then we would have to go back to working regular jobs. And we started pitching stories to people to write about beer, and she got a gig working for American Brewer to write a story about all the brew pubs in Florida, which at the time was 6. And after that, we just kept writing about beer.
I like that. You just went for it. Got to do that. And I think it's been a big success. I have to tell you that Brew Like a Monk is one of my favorite all-time beer books.
Thank you.
I mean, it's just so well done. And, JP and I, actually, we were all talking about this book before the show. The new book that Stan has out is Brewing with Wheat. And Stan has kind of a writing style that, sometimes when you read the titles of your book, Stan, they're intimidating to me because I'm not a scientific brewer. And I'm not a monk. But I feel like maybe the topic is a little more complex than I want to dive into. But Stan's writing style is really casual, and as JP put it, it's very anecdotal. And you really get through the information in a storytelling kind of way, and I can appreciate that. It helps you deliver the information, I think.
Well, thanks. And I'm also not a scientist, so
helps us both.
I try and find the information and then interpret it for people as simple as me.
Perfect. Yeah. See?
That's us.
This is how we invented the Brewing Network, Stan. I thought...
It's as simple as Bevo.
How can I make this as simple as me? Yeah. What was your first beer writing excursion, Stan? Can you remember?
Well, as I said, actually, my wife, Daria Lubinsky, who now does the copy editing for Brewers Publications, pitched the story to... American Brewer, which at the time Bill Owens, who is one of the pioneers in beer information, was doing the magazine, And so we went around and did that, and she pitched more stories. And I just mostly drove the car, and we were home brewers, so I would occasionally ask a question on the side.
Okay.
And we went to beer camp. I don't know if you guys are familiar with beer camp that was at Oldenburg Brewery, which is long gone. No. And I was just hanging out. And she couldn't sell the story to anybody until after it appeared in the magazine. So she said to me, well, why don't you write about it just on what you remember? And she would sell it to various newspapers around the country. So I wrote this story, and like about, I don't know, a dozen papers liked it. At that point, we said, people are interested in beer.
Yeah.
And so it went from there.
Yeah, I don't. So what was that beer camp like?
Well, at the time, this was 93, and so they brought in a couple hundred different beers, and there weren't many places you could get that cross section of beers. I don't know if you guys know Dave Gausipol, and
I don't know Dave. No,
he works for a distributor in Kentucky now.
Okay,
but it was really, you would go there, and now these things seem simple to people who exchange beers and like that, but you would have Great Lakes beer, and you go, wow, what's going on here? It just wasn't that easy to get that many interesting beers.
Okay.
This is less than 20 years ago.
Wow. So this was just a way for you guys to get together and be able to share from different places.
Right.
Yeah. What a great idea back then. I was just on I just did a panel for SF Beer Week, and one of the things we were talking about is the unremarkable access to beer that we have now, and that even as early as when I turned 21, so I'm not that old yet. There wasn't. I knew a time where you had to really seek out a grocery store or something that had a good beer selection, and the kids that are turning 21 now, there's beer everywhere. Like they won't know a time where there isn't a variety of craft beer.
Right. Good variety too.
Yeah. Which is just kind of interesting. And like you say, Stan, as little as 20 years ago, you guys had to get together at beer camp to share a lot of beer.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the impetus for brewing with wheat? Why did you get into this topic?
Well, actually, at the time, Ray Daniels was still a publisher at Brewers Publications. And he called me and said, this is a book he'd like to have. Okay. And we were planning this family adventure anyway, which was 15 months on the road, and of that 15 weeks in Europe. And I said, well, by pure chance, we will be in the area around Leuven, which is where the Belgian Whites began, and we'll be in the south of Germany and Bavaria, which is actually Bavarian Weizens began in Bohemia, but it's close enough. That's really associated with the styles. The south of Germany will be in Berlin, which is Berliner Weiss, and we'll be in 49 of the 50 U.S. states, which is American wheat. And those are basically what we think of as the 4 wheat beer styles. So it's a chance to go to the breweries and talk to the people who make the beer. But, it's an important thing, and I'll say this, which I always say to people all the time when they say, are you an expert on this? I am not an expert brewer. I'm lucky if I can brew 8 to 10 times in the course of a year.
Okay.
I as a journalist, what I do is I go ask people how they do it, and they're the real experts.
I see. I like that, because I can relate with the hardly ever brewing, but getting access to all these guys, like it's exciting to be able to talk to the professionals and find out what they're doing.
It's neat to be a conduit.
Yeah.
You don't have to do everything that you say you do. You can just, this is how other people do it, and I'm really good at compiling that knowledge and making it be absorbed by people who want to absorb it.
And in Stan's case, it helps that he's not illiterate.
Well, it does help.
Well,
maybe he just speaks into a recorder.
Right. Now, let me recap just a second here, too, Stan. So 15 months on the road, 49 states you hit with your family, and 15 weeks of that in Europe?
Yes.
Wow. How old... tell me about your family. It's your wife and how many kids?
Well, I have 2 children, one by a previous marriage. He actually watched the house while we were gone.
He did.
Our daughter, at the beginning of the trip, she was 11. At the end of the trip, she was 27 and somewhat older.
I can believe that.
Driving the RV.
Wow. Yeah. No kidding. What about school for her? Did you have to do a homeschool thing for the year?
Yes.
You did. You know, our call screener, Bevo, here was homeschooled for a year. And don't worry, Stan, she turned out great.
Wow.
She's now a call screener on the Brewing Network. So it's encouraging, I'm sure, for you.
You guys suck.
And then your son stayed home and watched your kegerator for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, so that was empty pretty early on.
Yeah, it didn't make it too far.
Dad, it's week 2.
Yeah.
I'm out.
What an epic trip, though. I mean, that just sounds amazing to me. Is that something you've wanted to do your whole life?
You know, and of course, everything comes back to beer. I was we started planning the trip about 4 years before we started the trip in 2008.
Okay.
So in 2004, we were doing a BJCP study group. So regularly on Sundays, we would get together about twice a month. And I would come home, and by then my wife and daughter would be in the hot tub. And knowing that generally coming back from our beer study class, that they could suggest almost anything, and I would say, okay.
Right.
So one time I come home, and they're saying, we're thinking about a trip around the world.
You're like, sure.
Great. But I am the family treasurer.
Uh-huh.
And so I said, we got to narrow it down a little bit. So we knocked it down to the states we could drive to, and then when we went to Europe and hit 17 more countries.
Wow!
Now, how did you travel in Europe? Did you also?
We leased a car.
Okay.
And you want to lease instead of renting.
Okay.
And you want to get a diesel.
Yeah.
Those are my bits of advice. It would be mass transportation. If you're 1 or 2 people, I'd recommend that. But when you get to 3, and it doesn't matter if your child's are 11, 12, they're going to pay full price everywhere.
Right.
So at that point, being able to have the car, and there are some advantages of the car because you can put beer in the back.
Yeah, that's right. And now, is the diesel part just fuel efficiency or access?
Well, diesel is cheaper.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's efficient too. So we got around about 38 miles to the gallon.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, we had I was just there for a couple of weeks, and we rented a little French diesel car. What's that French company?
Ford.
Le Car.
Yeah, it was a Le Car. Well, anyway, whatever it was a newer
Stupid
thing.
Americans.
And we got from Brussels all the way up to Amsterdam, and then back kind of down through Bruges. So a little side trip. It wasn't direct back, and then back to Brussels. We never got gas.
Right.
That was all on 3/4 of a tank. It was amazing, the efficiency of these diesels out there. So, all right, well, that's good advice from you, Stan. And when did you finish this trip? When did you get back?
We got home last beginning of August, which meant that I had about a month to write the book. And,
wow.
To keep it on schedule.
So,
but fortunately, I had done a little bit of writing before that. But
you must have written a bit on the road as you're doing these interviews.
As you're going along. Yeah.
Okay.
And we'd started during the whole process because the summer before, we were at Allagash the previous August, so that was like 12 months before.
Okay. So, and then just, is Allagash a great reference as a nice traditional white or wheat beer, the Allagash white?
You talk to people in the Netherlands and Belgium, and they'll go, this is what Celis White tasted like.
Wow, okay.
At the beginning. They really like it. And Allagash, which they deserve credit for all their really nice beers.
Yeah.
But 80% of the production is the white.
Is it? Okay. I love that beer. Actually, of the wheat beers that I will drink, Allagash White is one I'll get every time.
That's very good.
It's pretty available over here, too, as well, on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Kegs of it, so that's nice.
Now, you mentioned Celis White, which, in case any of our listeners don't know, so Peter Celis is kind of the pioneer of this style, right? The father.
Well, he's the resurrector of the style.
I see. Okay.
It had gone away. There were some small production around in Belgium, but he would in Hoegaarden itself, the town.
Yeah.
That he would, it was gone, and so he went back and brought that back in Belgium. Became immensely popular in both Belgium and the Netherlands, which historically you should think of together anyway.
As beer countries?
Well, it is. I mean, Belgium is a relatively young country. It's only about 180 years old.
Right.
And this, I'll digress here for a moment.
Sure.
When Americans look at Europe, they tend to look at the countries the way they are now.
Yeah.
But that's not the way they existed. That's not the way beer was born. So, there are sort of different spaces.
Right.
So when you think about the way beer moved around, and that's certainly true in Belgium when you talk about, say, the Saison style. So you sort of take away those borders and think about the space.
Okay.
So there was beer in the region around Leuven for now 400 or 500 years.
Okay.
And that wasn't Belgium then. Much of it that was, they were dominated. Of course, Belgium has been owned by many countries over time.
Yeah.
But mostly it was their leadership came from the Netherlands.
Okay.
So the people in the Netherlands have always been a great market for those beers.
Okay.
So if you talk to somebody like Derek Walsh, who'll be judging the World Beer Cup, for instance, he has a real sense of what those beers tasted like.
Okay. Yeah, why don't you mentioned that so Pierre Celis brought this beer back to the town of Hoegaarden, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you read the foreword of Stan's book, which is a really fascinating foreword, the author there actually talks about how Hoegaarden is now a patented name of a beer, right? And he talks about how that was a style of beer, and that he's actually upset that anybody would have the balls, the gall, to patent this name, which really should be a style. And the great comparison he makes is, what if Guinness, back when they were doing this sort of thing, had patented the word stout, so that the rest of us couldn't call our stouts stout. And I just thought it was really interesting. Here comes Pierre. He resurrects this style. He does it so well that a company acquires the beer that he's making and says, well, listen, this is Hoegaarden, and we're going to patent that. I mean, what a rich history, too. So you must have gotten to find out a lot about just the history of wheat in doing this.
But we are also history fans in our family. And the way those beers have evolved is obviously sometimes curious, but of course Pierre Celis then came to the United States, and first visiting, the first importer of Chimay and Duvel was in Texas.
Okay.
And located in Austin. The first really good Belgian beer bars in the United States were in Austin, Texas.
Interesting.
Which, if you've been to Austin, there's a real disconnect there.
Yeah.
But
for sure. What happened?
Yeah. So Pierre comes to visit, and the importer was from Belgium. So Pierre comes there to visit and decides, and he is an ongoing entrepreneur. He's great at creating things.
Yeah.
He wasn't a brewer. He didn't grow up a brewer. He doesn't have particular brewing expertise. But obviously he appreciates beer.
Right.
So he comes to us and says, "Oh, I think I can start this again," and he starts the Celis brewery there. and
Right.
make Celis White, which was my introduction to the white style, which was just this fabulous beer.
Yeah.
Well, one walk down 6th Street at 2 a.m. I'll move there and start a brewery too.
Well, at 2 a.m. on 6th Street, you're mostly looking for burritos, and you would drink a light lager.
For sure. And a blonde.
That's
and
right.
a brunette. And,
anything to go with that burrito.
That's my Austin joke.
I did have the Celis White, too, and I don't remember where I got to have some. Maybe I had it in Austin. It is an amazing beer.
I've always heard of it. It's one of those beers of, lore.
Yeah.
But the Celis White, which is now owned by the Michigan Brewing.
Okay.
That's a very nice beer. It's still a very well done beer.
Yeah.
Is it the same? It's one of these things. You have these beers the first time, and they become so big in your head that you're going, no, that's not quite the same.
Right.
And maybe it is. The first time he had it, it was probably, looking back, and that was 92. It had a tart character to it, but there were no tart beers then.
Right.
So.
Not here. Yeah.
Not in the United States, and barely anywhere, obviously, other than Lambics.
Right. So tell me a little more about the research back there in Europe. So you're 15 weeks, you're traveling around there, and here's where you're really doing, the bulk of your research for the book, right?
Well, I guess you would say it's more like it might be 40%. I'm not sure the percentage, because a lot of it is still done reading.
Yeah,
and looking at history.
Okay.
And a lot of it's in the United States. I think going forward, and we have I'll jump ahead, things that aren't in the book, that have even happened in the last 6 or 8 months. For instance, you've got Cascade, which Cascade in Portland, Oregon, which because they were first and second in the barrel age category at GABF.
Yeah.
They're making 4 seasonal gozas now.
Really? I didn't know that.
And we're there last summer, and of course, only the summer is coming out, and it's not ready yet.
Uh-huh.
So I've talked to Ron since then, and they're making a goza that has no wheat in it. So obviously, it has little to do with the Leipzig goza, but their other ones are interesting wheat beers. New Glarus crack wheat, which is just a fabulous beer.
Okay.
Has nothing to do with any style that existed until they made this beer until Dan Carey decided to make this beer a little over a year ago.
Okay.
So a lot of what we're going to call new creations or American wheat is ongoing.
Right.
So, and that's part of the book as well. And, I love the history part, which is the white beers, the Bavarian beers, which are the Weizen beers. And for me, the really intimidating part of the book, because if you look at German wheat beers that Eric Warner wrote in 1992, that's one of the best 2 or 3 beers in the Brewers Publications style.
Okay.
It's really well done. He studied beer. He went to Weinstefan. I missed him by 3 days at Weinstefan. I really want to write a book about that appears to be an expert when the guy who wrote the book before goes and speaks at Weinstefan.
Right.
They're not asking me there to speak.
Right. It's a good point you make.
And then the Gozas, which is a historic beer. And then Berliner Weiss, which is pretty well forgotten about in Berlin anymore. So we'll see what happens going forward with that particular style.
So, but you really, you talk about being a little intimidated about a wheat book, but you did approach it as an ingredient and not just as a style. So
definitely.
Okay. So, in other words, in this book, which is one of the, and we're going to get to this, you really talk about, the characteristics of wheat and what makes it useful in beer and how we use it. It's all in this book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, were you more interested in the history behind wheat beers or wheat beers in general? Like how they were put together, the process to go to make a good wheat beer? Or for me, it'd be more the history because I don't know enough about wheat beers to to say I want to write a book on that. But learning beer history and the brewing history around that ingredient, to me, kind of fascinates me.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're always looking at the background because you're trying to figure out how we got here and what happened along the way. For instance, Berliner Weiss, which a much heralded beer starting in 1680. So we're talking more than 300 years ago. And people fell in love with this. And in 1800, you got Napoleon's troops referring to it as the champagne of the North. And from a homebrewing standpoint, homebrewers want to nail a style and to say it was made this way. Well, you can look back historically at Berliner Weiss and certainly through the 19th century, and I can tell you 15 different ways that beer was made.
Yeah.
So you can't really pick out one, and that's what I love about brewing and beer is you're always going to be making choices.
Right.
You're always compromising, and compromising doesn't mean you're making a compromising beer. That means you're making decisions along the way.
Well, and you talk about it in one of your chapters too, where you talk about just the regional flora, particularly when it comes to the region that we now know as Belgium, and brewing there, and brewing the wheat styles there, the white styles, the wits. It could scarcely be reproduced somewhere else, even 50 miles,
right,
in another direction of that region, just because of the flora.
Well, certainly, and those particular beers, which were really susceptible to changing within, if you look at which is the first chapter about history, the idea that people were drinking beers 2 or 3 days after yeast was pitched. So they were basically drinking beers that were still fermenting.
Wow. It's like my house.
Which might have been good or bad for digestion.
Right. Depending on what you were looking for. Yeah.
and that's going forward, if you're a home brewer making beer at home, that works perfectly. I've done it. I'm having friends over. We're going through 5 gallons now.
Yeah.
And that's perfect. If you're a home brewer entering competitions, you've got to move it up a couple levels.
Right.
If you're a commercial brewer, then at some point you have to say, bugs, stop now.
Right. All right. Let me get us to a quick break, and it sounds like just a great point to get into actually brewing with wheat, because we've got a lot of questions in front of us about that, and I think it looks to me like the interviews that you've done can give us some great answers. So if you can hang in there with us, we'll be right back. We've got Stan Hieronymus on the line with his new book, Brewing with Wheat, and I love this book so far, even though I'm not a wheat beer fan. So hang in there. More with Stan when we come back.
You're listening to the Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
Do you support the Brewing Network? Do you brew your own? Are you looking for an economical, fun, and legal way to do both? Subscribe to Brew Your Own magazine and do just that. All year long, Brew Your Own will surprise you, entertain you, and educate you with articles on beer and brewing from authors like the Brewing Network's very own Jamel Zalashev and John Palmer. Each issue is a full pint of brewing techniques, homebrew stories, tips and photos, projects to make yourself, and recipes for the avid home brewer. Get your tough questions answered by Mr. Wizard, and polish your style accuracy with Jamel. A portion of every subscription goes to the Brewing Network, so subscribe today at byo.com/Brewing Network, or just click the BYO logo on the Brewing Network homepage and support a fantastic hobby and your favorite broadcaster. Brew Your Own, the how-to homebrew beer magazine.
Williams Brewing is your online resource for prompt delivery of quality home brewing supplies. Since 1979, Williams Brewing has offered the finest equipment and freshest ingredients and the best customer service in the business. Cut hours off your brewing sessions by using one of our 11 varieties of famous Williams malt extract. Our Williams Belgian Pale Extract is mashed with pure Belgian two-row malt and a small percentage of Belgian wheat malt for an authentic Belgian character you just can't get from other extracts. Or check out our unique fermenters, 2.5-gallon kegs, paintball tank-based draft beer equipment, bottling aids, and much more. We even have our own line of precision hydrometers. Go to WilliamsBrewing.com to browse our vast selection. That's WilliamsBrewing.com. Orders placed by 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time ship the same day. Brewing is easy. The Williams way.
Nico, listen, our lawyers said that we had to do this for 1 hour, and after this, we don't have to talk to each other for 3 more months to the next meeting.
Kids, come on, let's get out of here.
I'm supposed to have more lines. I'm the professional. Hey, it's Sully.
And I'm Nico.
And we opened the 21st Amendment 10 years ago at 563 2nd Street in San Francisco, just 2 blocks from Giants Park, to make great beer and have a great time doing it.
That's right, because to us, the 21st Amendment is more than just the right to make beer. It's the right to experiment, to be innovative, and just do things differently. And so now, we're putting our craft beer in cans.
That's right, cans. You can find our world-famous Hell or High Watermelon Wheat Beer at Brew Free or Die IPA in the Northeast, Northwest, parts of the Midwest, and Alaska in cans and on draft. So next time you're at your local neighborhood pub or good beer store, be sure to ask for 21st Amendment in cans.
Because everyone likes it in the can.
Tasty crack cans.
Tasty crack can.
When Blickman Engineering set out to design a great brewing stand, they knew it had to be strong, adaptable, and last for a lifetime. The top-tier brewing stand is now proudly available at BlickmanEngineering.com. It grows with your brewing skills and equipment. Start with 5-gallon coolers on its heavy-gauge stainless steel shelves. Then move all the way up to 30-gallon pots on the high-output burner tiers. Speaking of burners, the custom Blickman Engineering top-tier burners are extremely powerful, efficient, and amazingly quiet. They have safety stops to center your pot, and they'll last a lifetime and won't rust. The top-tier brewing stand allows virtually infinite combinations from traditional gravity systems to 2 tiers to completely horizontal. Configure your stand the way you want and have the freedom to change it at any time in the future. Your brewing stand should adapt with you, not force you to learn a new process. Visit BlickmanEngineering.com today to configure your top-tier brewing stand and to find a local Blickman retailer. You'll be surprised with all the flexible features and the competitive price. Start brewing with Blickman from the top tier.
Hilo, what's it feel like?
Take awesome and multiply it by 2.
Yeah! Spraying live beer radio all over your face.
Can't get any better than this, baby.
It's the Brewing Network.
You're listening to the Brewing Network. Because like beer, radio shouldn't suck.
Welcome back to the program. Thanks for sticking with us. We've got Stan Hieronymus on the line talking about his new book, Brewing with Wheat. If you've got questions about brewing with wheat, you can hit the Chat Now button right there on our homepage, and Bevo is in there taking your questions, and we will get them asked and answered as best as possible. You still with us, Stan?
Yes.
Stan, are you drinking a wheat beer right now? I got to know.
No, I'm drinking water right now.
Oh, you? I see. You're a lot like my staff here today. They're all on water. They're not. They're all under the weather and are on water this week.
Except for this guy.
Previously today, the last beer I had before hooking up with you guys was actually the similar to the wheat wine recipe that's in the book, the smokestack harvest wheat wine.
Okay.
They made.
Great. So you did have a nice big beer before you came on.
That's like 9.1%. So you don't need too many of those.
Right. Well, this is a great segue point. Normally our co-host Dr. Scott is with us in the studio today, but he couldn't make it. But he called me specifically to make sure that I asked you a couple of questions about wheat wine.
Mm-hmm. And
one of his questions was that wheat is, he says, typically in a lot of wheat beers, it doesn't age very well. So you tend to want your wheat beers, you want to drink them fresh.
Yes.
But the barley wine style, you want to age it. You know, a nice year-old barley wine is just reaching its peak. So, what do you think about aging a wheat wine? Is this something that can be done?
Well, I don't know that much science has been done about it. There are always, yes, you want to consume wheat within the first few days, ideally a few months, because it is going to cause stability issues. When you make it a much more high-gravity beer, which is often with a lower percentage of wheat, then it would, and you're also going to change the yeast you're working with, because people are generally going to use like a California ale yeast or something like that, because they're really making a barley wine with a little bit of wheat to change the flavor character.
Right.
Now, personally, I like the idea that you wouldn't age them, and I'm probably influenced by the fact that we were just drinking the smoked stack wheat, which is, Stephen Powell's approaches that with the idea that it's a wheat wine. It should be like wine and taste like wheat. It's not meant to be another barley wine.
Yeah, this is a great... Stephen Powell's is the brewmaster at Boulevard Brewing.
Yes.
And this is a great comparison that you have here in the book, where you talk about his take on a wheat wine, where, as you're saying, he wants it to taste a little bit like wine.
Right.
Whereas you have someone like Todd Ashman in there, who's now...
And the 420 wheat wine at Flossmoor Station,
yeah.
I mean, that's one of those things going in. When I thought about the chapters that would be the people who would contribute recipes, obviously I base it upon beers I had and loved, and 420 was at Flossmoor was just really awesome beer, but it's basically a barley wine.
Right. So here's we have. So we have Steve Powell's recipe is in the book, and just to give you a couple percentages so you know what we mean about the difference here, he's using 25% malted wheat and 22% raw wheat in his, and then he uses some pale malt or Pilsner also. Whereas Todd Ashman, who's now with 50/50, at the time he was with Flossmoor Station, right?
Yeah, well, 420 was Flossmoor, and
Right.
I think he's done a wheat wine. Well, he has done a wheat wine now at 50/50.
Oh, he does? Okay, got it. Well, back then, so the recipe you have here, he's using 27% red wheat, and then the rest is a two-row. So, kind of a big difference in the amount of wheat being used in the two different beers, too.
Yes.
So what do you think about the style in general? You don't care whether it tastes more like wine or more like you just think of it as two different ways to do a wheat wine?
I like the idea of somebody's going to say it's a wheat wine, of taking Stephen's approach.
Okay.
And make it, because I can take a stroll. We live in New Mexico, so we don't actually have a cellar. You know, we've got a chest freezer that's temperature controlled, and I've got lots of barley wines.
Okay.
And I don't need another barley wine. I shouldn't say this because you're supposed to want to have, as a home brewer,
always more,
another one.
Right.
And Todd's recipe is really nice, but I like Stephen's approach.
Yeah. He actually, and now just another reason to buy this book. There's a lot of neat little tips in here, but one of Stephen's little tips is to bottle condition this beer. He used some grape juice instead of regular sugar, which I think it just adds to this whole character that he decided, hey, I want it to taste a little bit like wine. And then there's a lot of other tricks in there he did to make it taste like wine, too. I'm not going to give away everything in the book because I really think you should have this thing. But you see what I'm saying? Another just great approach to have it a little bit of wine character to it.
He didn't stir the mash with his feet, did he?
He might have. Any rumors of that, Stan?
No, Boulevard's a pretty good-sized brewery now.
You would need big feet.
If you can do that math, and it sort of depends upon how much people have been drinking. But the amazing thing about Boulevard is they got past 100,000 barrels with a 35-barrel system, and now they have the new brew house, which is highly automated and super. And there's this big hole in the ceiling when you walk in.
Really?
And so, because they're doing wheat beers and they're not set up to do decoction or anything. So they can drop another mash tun if they needed to, and you'd be thinking, so they could do decoction. Well, Stephen, who is incredibly self-effacing, is going, if this whole craft thing doesn't work out, then we can come in here and do decoction and light lagers with corn.
Got it.
100,000 barrels.
Yeah.
This may not work yet.
Go for it.
Yeah.
I like that. Always have a backup plan, guys. This is the lesson here.
What's our backup plan here?
We don't. Everybody else should always have a backup plan, except for us. Our backup plan is that we're going to go on the road with Stan next time he does one of these book trips.
Yeah.
Is there already another book in the works, Stan, just out of curiosity?
I'm starting researching on something, but I haven't signed a contract, so I don't think I'm supposed to talk about it.
I see.
And then I also have a project of love, which is starting to get oral histories from brewers who started since 1970, and of course that has no economic value at all.
Now, are you? I'm curious about that. Are you recording those, or you?
Yes.
You are. That's fantastic.
And then the idea is you transcribe them, so they're,
I see.
Available for people who can't hear.
Right. Like JP.
What?
Exactly.
That's it.
So now I'm starting to see questions come in from the chat room, and maybe this is a good place to start talking about the style and how it kind of differs. What's the difference in how the Germans use wheat and their wheat beers, like the Weizens, and the Belgians with their wits?
Well, I think both of them, of course, are. If you're a pedantic brewer, both of those yeast are somewhat plastic and give you off flavors. But the Germans, the two parts are their Weizen yeast, and these will vary throughout Bavaria. So if you go to the south of Bavaria, those yeast are a little bit more like the Belgians, and they're going to give you more banana. Mm-hmm. And to the north, they're going to give you more clove and spiciness. But they are mashing to enhance those flavors. So they're doing that rest at about 112 or 115 degrees, which will bring out more of the clovey flavor.
Okay.
So they're really, and that's where you get what we consider a Southern German Weizen sort of beer. And in Belgium, their yeast are the wit beer yeast don't produce nearly as much clove character, and they're also not mashing for that.
Okay. There's a section even where you talk about, so that character is actually associated with a specific, I don't know if chemical is the right word.
Well, it's an interaction of the yeast and ferulic acid.
Okay.
So it's and we'll just say 4BG. It is 4-vinyl glycol, but you don't need to keep saying that.
Just 4VG.
4VG.
Yeah,
and you can hang out and say 4VG. It makes it sound cooler anyway.
It does sound cool. That's the compound that creates those clove-like flavors.
Yes, that is the compound that you identify as those flavors. Yes.
I see. Okay.
And actually the Westmalle yeast or Chimay yeast, those will also grind out that same sort of character.
Okay.
So it's the whole yeast through that region, as opposed to California ale yeast or the Guinness yeast or the English ale yeast.
Right.
Those are not.
Right. And it's not obviously if you're going to find it in these other Belgian beers, it's not just for wheat beers too. And I found that interesting in the book because I have tasted, sometimes when I'm drinking a bit like a Belgian quad or, triple, they do some of those phenolic flavors. I wouldn't call it clove like I would when I'm drinking a Hefeweizen, but you can certainly find the characteristics in that flavor sometimes, especially the more phenolic beers.
Yes. Well, you think about in California, a fairly recent, not 2-year-old brewery, the brewery, and their Orchard White, that's a variation on Duvel yeast.
Yeah,
for instance.
Okay.
I've had great wit beers, and they were fermented with Chimay yeast.
Oh, right. That's that would be an interesting way to do it. Is take what we would normally do our doubles with or something, and do a nice wit with it.
Do it with wheat
as home brewers, because you'd probably bring out the same characters. And I wonder. See, in my case, I want less of that clove character. All right, so I wonder if it would diminish it a little. It would keep it there, right, so that it's kind of true to style. But I wonder if it would diminish. Do you think, Stan, that you'd find less of it if you use like a Chimay type yeast?
Well, it's going to depend how you handle it. So first in your mash, you're going to want to make sure you're not doing that for like
rest,
acid rest.
Okay.
And much of this perception is really what you're seeing is a balance between clove and the banana, which is isoamyl. So you want more esters, so you're going to let your fermentation go warmer. If you start it cooler, then the clove's going to come out more.
Okay. And, a question actually came through in the chat room about the difference between that banana flavor and that other clove flavor. And you're saying that they are two different compounds.
Well, the clove is a phenol.
Yeah.
And banana is an ester.
Okay. So tell me the difference between... Now, we can even go simple like this for me. What's the difference between a phenol and an ester?
You got me. That's the way you refer... I mean, that's the way they're creating.
Right.
I've heard that people are more sensitive to one or the other.
I see. Because we lump
it... and that goes to a good point, that what people perceive... You and I can talk about one thing, and we could be talking to somebody else, and they don't get that at all.
Right. But it's just interesting to me that we often talk about those two things together. We often say the phenols and the esters,
right?
Or sometimes.
Well, the phenols are also. I mean, there are other. There are phenols that come from the hops,
right?
And then that also come from the malt, and so you got polyphenols, which are adding to the cloudiness.
Okay.
Which we sort of it doesn't really work for a home brewer, but some commercial brewers are now using what's called Tantal A, which is basically introducing a polyphenol, which gives you the cloudiness and gives you, if you're a brew pub,
right?
For instance, a brew pub brewer, which is the hardest to do the wheat styles, and you want your beer to look cloudy. At a home brewer, you're going to blow through a 5-gallon batch.
Sure.
If you're a bottling brewer, then you tilt a bottle. You're throwing the yeast and what cloudiness you get from the malt back into the bottle.
Right.
But as a pub brewer, it's just sitting there clarifying all the time.
Right.
So if you're not going through 7 barrels very fast, it's looking less cloudy all the time. So you can add this Tantal A, which is a tannin that comes from nuts, but it adds a cloudiness. That's a polyphenol.
Okay. Yeah, in fact, I can corroborate that a bit too. So I worked for an American brew pub for a little while, and their Hefeweizen, I call it American wheat.
Their American wheat.
We were told to keep those kegs upside down.
Oh.
Yeah, when you can keg it, it's much better than having 7 barrels on a serving.
Sure, and they did. They kegged it to move it around to their different brew pubs, and we kept all the kegs upside down so that when we tapped them, we turned them right side up, tapped them.
Right.
All the cloudiness was put, theoretically put back into the beer, and it looked as people expected it to look.
And the first 3 pints weren't all yeast.
Right, weren't all of that.
Right, the good stuff.
But now, so wheat beer, though, wheat as an ingredient in general, it tends to be a cloudy ingredient, doesn't it? Doesn't it tend to lend that?
It's the proteins.
Okay. So if we want a clear beer, using wheat is a difficult thing to do.
No, not necessarily. Actually, I mean, I don't know that the people listening right now care that much about it, but when you add more wheat and you get above 40 or 50%, your beer is going to clarify faster.
Oh, is that right?
And it's just because then you've got it's it's literally dragging itself clear.
I see.
Like a saturation point, kind of almost.
Yes.
Things just kind of clump to it, and it falls out together.
Right. So you get bigger proteins. They get heavier. They fall out of suspension, and people go, "Oh, that's not a wheat beer."
Right. Okay. All right. Another question that came through from the chat room. Richards is in there hanging out, and he wants to know if you talk about using spelt at all in this book.
No.
Is spelt a type of wheat?
Yeah, I think it's a variation on wheat. And actually, there is one quick discussion of ancient grains, and almost everything that's relative to wheat, relative to wheat is relative to spelt.
Okay.
You know what I found interesting is you had a chance to talk with Byerman, and they talked about 5 different wheats that they actually malted back in 2008. And you also mentioned that some of the growers are actually working on different wheats. What were those 5 wheats that were malted that year? I mean,
well, they didn't talk about that specifically.
Okay.
Byerman is first of all, they're really nice malts. They keep a lot of stuff proprietary.
Okay.
And it's not exactly clear. You would think going forward, and they won't specify this, but they're going to begin to figure out if there's enough market for the wheat, if they get more of the market, because Bavaria, of course, got 600 breweries making wheat beers. That they will start a combination of finding varieties that will work well, and then how they are malting those. So, I could see them reaching a point, if wheat beer is popular enough, that you'll be able to go buy that, and your mashing process will be pretty simple, like 1 or 2 steps, or maybe just a single infusion. They'll say this is ready to go as a wheat beer.
Interesting.
I had a question come through about, related to that too, from the chat room. Film Lab is in there, and he wants to know the difference between malted wheat, unmalted wheat, and torrefied wheat. Did you find that out in your book? That's and torrefied. Basically, torrefied is malted wheat ready to go. I see.
It's the simplest thing. So if you're looking for a recipe, instead of using unmalted wheat, you can use torrefied wheat, and you're not going to have the same conversion problems. That's a simple answer.
Like the stuck mash issue, or what?
Well, no, stuck mash is it will. You're less likely to have a stuck mash. In terms of dealing with stuck mash, the 2 parts are, of course, use rice hulls. And if you don't, you can add the rice hulls at the end if you're really hyper about that. So in other words, I don't want it in my mash. Just add it before mash out, and then mash out as hot as you can go.
Okay.
Without obviously causing a phenolic problem.
And is that just because it has no husk and it's pretty much just going to gum it all up? Is that?
Yes.
Okay.
So when you say that a torrefied malt is ready to go, you mean that you more so mean we don't have to do any sort of step mashing. It's a single infusion type of mash. Put it at your temperature, and it will convert like we want it to.
Yeah. So you can. I mean, in that sense, making a wit beer is easier than making a traditional Southern German Weizen beer.
Where you do either have to do a decoction or a step mash.
Yeah, well, you don't have to do a decoction, although I like it with a decoction because you get a little bit more mouthfeel. But that step mash is really a way to assure that you've got that ferulic acid rest in there. The shortcut, if you want to make a Weizen beer and I mash in a Gott cooler, so one step is, or 2 steps. I can mash in up 1 time, and then I need to be mashing out because by then I filled it up.
Right.
And if you really want to make a Weizen beer, you could consider just getting like the Briess, because that's 65% wheat, and they've done the ferulic acid rest. So
I see.
People hate the idea of doing an extract, but actually that's an extract ready to go.
So then if what's the difference between unmalted and malted wheat? Is unmalted this wheat that we have to do a conversion to ourselves? A step?
It works better if you do a step, yeah.
It does.
Okay. But of course, you've got another choice,
okay,
which is simply not to have it add any fermentables, so you can calculate and say, I'm not adding the fermentables.
I see.
Or mouthfeel.
And that way, it's going to add some cloudiness.
Sure.
And again, there's always a shortcut for people. You can just throw a little bit of wheat starch in. That will add your cloudiness.
Aha.
I like shortcuts.
I find it amazing that anybody has trouble making cloudy beer because I don't know that I've ever made a clear beer.
How to get it uncloudy.
So I just find it interesting, Stan, you giving us tips on how to cloud our beer. So what about malted wheat then? I mean, is that that's generally the wheat that I know and will go and buy? That's a regular standard malted wheat?
But you mean the beer you'll buy for brewing?
Well, I mean, as an ingredient, if I'm going to brew. Well, right. And I guess I'm asking specifically because the question is, what's the difference between malted wheat, unmalted wheat, and torrefied wheat? So I just try to get his answer.
Malted wheat, obviously, is I don't want to say it's malted,
sure,
but in other words, it's ready for brewing.
Okay.
Unmalted wheat, it has not gone through the malting process.
Okay.
So therefore, it hasn't grown up the sugar that you get when you malt.
Okay.
And it lacks the diacetyl.
And torrefied wheat is unmalted wheat, which has been converted, I guess. That'd be the way to put it. In other words, like I said, it's ready to go.
That it's ready to go.
Fully converted.
And, Tacey, you were going to add that
the diastatic power is relative, right?
Because it hasn't been malted.
Right.
Okay. All right, good. Phew. Got everybody's questions answered.
You got that.
I like to do that. All right, Stan, I'm going to get us to one more quick break, if that's okay with you. And we'll come back and we'll wrap things up with Stan. I've got some more beer questions in front of me. Chad's got some more. Chad's our wheat guy in the room today, Stan, so he's got some more questions for you. And
it's always exciting to be the wheat guy in the room. Just so you aren't that wheat guy on the Bud Light commercial.
Well, Chad was
walking on the beach.
He was wondering if it was a coincidence that your book comes out also while Bud Light Golden Wheat is also very popular. I mean, is this a coincidence, Stan, or you just...
I'll be working on that tour next.
Yeah. All right, we're going to find out about Golden Wheat when we come back from Stan Hieronymus. Get to the chat room if you have questions for Stan. Bevo's in there. Just hit the chat now button and we'll get them asked for you. Hang in there. It's The Session. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. On the Brewing Network.
Hey, what are you doing, man?
Writing a review of WLP 400.
What? You're reviewing yeast?
Yeah. White Labs has home brewer reviews of all their strains. Are you new to these interwebs? Check it out.
That's awesome.
White Labs, your source for great yeast, invites all brewers to visit whitelabs.com to read and write your own reviews of all their yeast strains. Get real-world tips and tricks from other brewers who have made the most of their vials and post your own experiences. It's another way White Labs brings you closer to the best yeast on the planet.
And send. There you go.
You misspelled flocculate, dude.
What?
White Labs. It's all in the vial.
Hi. I have a sixer of Lagunitas in the icebox. My roommate's gone for the weekend, and I'm wearing something flimsy.
Listen, baby. I told her not to call me after 8. I'll talk to you tomorrow. I gotta go.
Who is that? Your girlfriend? You loser.
Shut up, Doug. Did you guys get the cauldron set up on the altar of my art?
Sir, if you weren't so busy getting booty calls, you'd know that.
The hurricane furnace is using propane while you guys talk.
All right, I'm using the scroll of Mosher to boil the first decoction.
Nope, it's scorched. What do you do?
Frack, scoop it out and try again. Doug, use your math rake.
You took too long. The color is now darkened past the point where you can still call it a Pilsner.
This sucks.
I hate it when Greg's the brewmaster.
What's this? Poindexter Urkel?
Dude, can't you see we're in the middle of a brew session?
Is that an actual beer?
Yeah, I crafted it. I don't really use the dice anymore. I'm a 10th level beer nerd. Are you a 10th level beer nerd? Do you belch White Labs 833 and crap Simcoe? Then you're in good company at Northern Brewer. Northern Brewer has all your beer nerd needs, ingredients, equipment, and knowledge 24 hours a day at northernbrewer.com. Plus, fast, cheap shipping, only $7.99 for the contiguous USA. And check out Northern Brewer's huge selection of dorky beer kits, including the Cylon Detecting 3-Hearted Ale and the collector's item Super Alt.
Mine's in mint condition because it's still in the box.
Make 10th level at northernbrewer.com.
Downtown Joe's, located in the historic Oberon building in beautiful downtown Napa, California, offers an award-winning brew pub experience from 8:30 a.m. to 1 a.m. every day. For 15 years at the corner of 2nd and Main, Downtown Joe's has been voted Best Night Spot 7 times and Best Brew Pub for the last 4 years in a row. Brewmaster Colin Kaminsky's handcrafted ales, like his Tailwagon Amber Ale and Double Secret Probation IPA, are the perfect accent to riverside dining, live music, and a relaxing outdoor patio. Don't miss the Beer of the Month, special rotating taps, and the BN Army Member Special. Wear your BN gear, get 10% off your beer. Visit downtownjoes.com to make reservations, peruse their extensive calendar of events, or just read more about their fantastic beers. Come enjoy the fine beer, food, and music. Downtown Joe's, the award-winning brew pub where you'll feel at home.
Hi, this is Push from the Brewing Network, and I want to tell you about the Brewmaster's Warehouse and how you can get 10% off your next order. I'm a pretty techie guy, but I've never seen an online store like this. It's awesome. Go to brewmasterswarehouse.com and click on Brew Builder. You can whip up a custom recipe so easily even Sven could do it. Seriously, it's slick. You can share your recipe with your own logo and notes to the Brewmaster's database if you want. And the best part, it keeps a running tally of the beer you're building while you're doing it. Then, bam, click Buy Recipe, and your cart is filled and ready to go with helpful suggestions in case you forgot something. This thing is amazing. Brewmaster's Warehouse is run the way a home brewer would do it, with great service, fast turnaround, and $6.99 flat rate shipping. Brewmaster's Warehouse and the Brew Builder blew me away. Check it out today at brewmasterswarehouse.com. I'm serious. And don't forget to put BN Army in the discount code box for 10% off your order. Check out brewmasterswarehouse.com. Cheers.
Wait till you can pour it out of your own kegerator.
Yeah. I mean, your friends will look at you with awe.
And it's just hot.
It is?
It's so super hot.
The home of live beer radio. TheBrewingNetwork.com.
Because like beer,
Radio shouldn't suck. You're listening to The Session.
keeping the ass out of Brewcast.
This is the Brewing Network.
Welcome back to the program. Thanks for sticking with us. We're talking to Stan Hieronymus, and his new book is out, Brewing with Wheat. Great book. Everyone here has their own copy, mostly because Stan's publisher was nice enough to send us two, but also because we love it. So Stan's still on the line with us. If you've got questions about Brewing with Wheat, get in the chat room, hit the Chat Now button, and Bevo's in there taking your questions. I've got a few of them in front of me.
I got to ask you a question first,
okay.
And I can't find it. I'm supposed to ask here from Thomas Vincent. So I'm supposed to ask you about the rat pad or something like that?
Yes, apparently that's the name of my house, Stan. You're welcome to come to the rat pad anytime. Actually, people...
It sounds delightful, doesn't it?
And our house is also where the studio is. People, I don't know if you saw some of the social networking going on after they found out you're going to be on the show. Everyone was real excited that you would be in studio with us. Mm-hmm. I think they thought that, you're such a nice guy and we're such douchebags that it might be interesting to have you sitting next to us. But I had to break the news to them. It was you wouldn't commit to that. It was only a phone. It was only a phone call.
I'd be happy to be there.
We'd love to have you. Whenever you come to California, Stan, you come on in here.
Well, it's like a first date. He's checking us out and making sure we're not creepy and going to take him behind the dumpster.
Well,
there's beer involved. It'll work out.
It'll be fine. Yeah. Well, I met Stan at the Homebrewers Conference, a couple Homebrewers Conferences now, so he already knows I'm creepy. It's just getting him into the house.
Right.
House creepy is different than conference creepy.
Yes.
Are you going to the Homebrewers Conference?
By much.
That's true.
I'll be in Minneapolis. I tell you what, they're, everywhere in the country there are great homebrewers, but but in Minnesota, they are at least tied for first.
Oh. I got to say, well, what is it? St. Paul has won the Homebrew Club of the Year 2 years now, right?
Right.
Yeah, and they'll probably do 3. Yeah.
And they might do it again this year. And I was just there for Northern Brewer Grand opening, and I got to agree with Stan. There's some good beer being made out there.
If you're going to be there, you need to practice crawling back onto the plane, because that will be the condition you're leaving in.
I think he's right. Yeah. Yeah, I might have to drive home just for that reason. They're not going to let me on the plane. All right, I'm looking forward to it. Good, so you're going to be there.
Yes.
All right, that's wonderful. Maybe Stan will be signing his new book there. You never know.
Ooh, maybe he'll sign our books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I saw your name on the speaker list there, Stan.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you
actually? I'll be talking about the plastic yeast.
Oh, that's right.
How the Belgian yeast and the Weizen yeast are similar, and how they're different, and how you learn to live with them.
Oh, great.
Well, give us all a reading assignment, which I guess would be your book, right? So
yeah.
We'll all know what to do.
We'll try and come up with some stuff that isn't in either book.
Oh, great.
As a matter of fact. So.
Good.
And there will be beer involved.
Oh.
Another good thing. I might show up for that, Stan.
It's not going to be one of those 8 o'clock in the morning talks, is it?
I think it's like 2:30 in the afternoon. I hope so.
So it'll be my first talk of the day.
I did get my schedule, and they must know me very well, because I'm on at like 3:45 in the afternoon.
That's still a bit early. Yeah.
And Susan sent it to me. I'm going to thank you publicly right now, Susan, or whoever made that scheduling. You know me well. If you had put me on that 8 a.m. deal, I'd have bailed out. You know this.
What are you doing now there? You talking? No, you're not talking.
I have a talk. I have a whole talk.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you need a partner?
Yeah, as if it's not going to be attended very poorly already. I need you to help me do that.
I'll just stand.
I'll be there for one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just stand next to you. I'll stand next to you and just laugh.
It's going to be perfect. That's what you do here.
That's what I do here.
Yeah.
And fall asleep.
Oh, what is your topic? We'll be right back, Stan.
Yeah, hang in there, Stan. Well, roughly,
how not to tank a whole industry by yourself.
So far.
My topic is how to become the most important voice in beer. That's my topic.
Yeah.
No, it's about using new technology in beer. It's about using social media and new technology and embracing access. It's a lot about access.
Beer information.
It's about embracing access and how to use it to your advantage to make your beer better, to make your homebrew club better. I'm going to focus a lot on homebrew clubs and how you can really kind of enhance your club. And
cool.
Yeah, there you go. I just gave you my abstract. This is great because I'm supposed to submit my abstract, and you just helped me write it.
So you haven't sent Susan that yet? Is that what you're saying?
Susan hates me.
I believe we are past the deadline.
Yeah.
See, again, they know me really well because Susan's been super nice. She keeps going, "No, it's fine. Just send it, please."
I think it's a form letter that she sent out to everybody.
Yeah. Damn it, Stan. Thank you for calling me out on that too.
Well, I've done that on the other hand for at Craft Brewers Conference. We're doing the Belgian white and wit beers.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe last week was the deadline for the PowerPoints, and I'll be happy if we get it done in another 3 weeks.
Oh, boy. It's not always easy because it's a lot to cram into one talk, right? So it takes some time to get your head around it. That's my excuse.
Yeah, I like how Stan's going. Yeah, it really is. Because I have to tell the differences between these two yeasts and how they're similar and how they're different. How you deal with them, and you're talking about like
Facebook,
Twitter, and Facebook.
Yeah, mine's very complicated. Listen, I had to go to school for this sort of thing.
It's true.
I do have a communications degree.
That's true, and you do it well.
I'm going to show everybody my diploma.
You should. That should be the first slide.
That's my
slide.
Yeah, it's the first slide. It's my diploma.
It's the only
nobody
slide.
will believe it.
Yeah,
really.
All right. I did have a serious question for you, Stan. Also come through from the chat room. So somebody wanted to know in German Hefeweizens the difference between that banana flavor and what we sometimes find is the bubblegum flavor. What causes that?
The banana flavor is a beer well done, and bubblegum is a beer not so well done.
Okay.
Why does that happen? It's generally when you've let your fermentation temperature drift a little high.
I see. So the higher it goes, the more we get that bubblegum bad flavor. Yeah. See, I didn't know that.
I wonder what's after bubble gum if you really let it go.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Well, then it becomes just the harsher, higher alcohols, and then it begins. You start talking about phenolic.
Oh.
Then it becomes Band-Aid.
Oh, right. Oh, I can see. So it goes from banana to bubblegum to Band-Aid. It gets bad quick.
Real plastic.
Yeah. Okay. So here's another question that came through. Does a German Hefeweizen, can that be done with a single infusion, or does it have to be done with a step mash?
I think it can. It can be a single infusion. And particularly if you're not in love with the clove quality, you're going to get closer to Weinstefan than Schneider.
Okay. I would prefer that. I'm not in love with the clove quality.
I prefer it over banana.
Yeah. You prefer it over banana?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And another question, kind of a follow-up to that. If you are doing a step mash, can you still maintain the body that you would get from a single infusion?
Because the malts you're getting now are better modified, which is good.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do that ferulic acid rest, which is about 112 to 115, and generally you'll see me saying 43 to 45 C because you hang out with the German brewers and you think in those terms, so they become 45, 50. Okay. Then you're going to go faster through the next rest, which is 50, which is like 122. So you got to realize that you're going to start to lose some head retention. So you wouldn't do that. You really got to shorten your protein rest. So think about ferulic acid rest and protein rest together.
Okay.
So once you do that first one, then you got to speed through. Otherwise, you are going to lose some body.
Okay. All right. And another question back to torrefied wheat.
Okay.
Bad Coffee in the chat room wants to know, can you substitute torrefied wheat for flaked wheat? Can they be used for the same purpose?
Flaked wheat and torrefied wheat are pretty much the same thing.
They are. Okay.
They're both they're they're pre-gelatinized flakes, basically, and so by doing that's why they can work in place of raw wheat.
Okay. All right. And then another topic that we wanted to talk to you about, and this comes up even, again, right in the foreword of your book, is how about spices used in these beers?
Well, if for the people who have heard me talk about Belgian beers and reading the book, I'm not the world's biggest spice fan.
Okay.
And I'm also somewhat sensitive to coriander. To me, coriander comes off as celery really fast. And other people will say it comes across to them as ham.
Yeah.
That said,
ham.
These are essential if you want to make a Belgian white beer.
Right.
But it's easier to overdo the coriander. So orange peel sits there, and coriander is going to give you a lot. People taste it and they think orange peel, and I'm getting the citrus character. A lot of citrus character comes from the coriander. When it goes over the top, it becomes cilantro really fast.
Okay.
Or celery.
Yeah.
So
which makes
not
sense, I guess.
too much coriander. That said, the recipe, each part of the book. I'm not trying to sell the book here, but we talk about Belgian white, and then there's a chapter where you get a recipe for a Belgian white beer. And the brewer talks about why he did it that way. And the Hefeweizen, same thing.
Right.
In the case, then we get to the funky beers, we actually have 4 recipes for strange beers. Jean-Francois from Sous de Seal provided the recipe for the white beer. He loves coriander.
Okay.
And in a way, putting this in is probably perverse because but I really like his beers. Even though he likes coriander and I don't, he's able to make those beers with a good chunk of coriander, and I appreciate him. And it shows you how you handle your spices makes an immense difference. Then in the book, it just in passing, it would seem, although we talk about the mashing. So you've got the from Boulevard, you've got the unfiltered wheat, and then the way they mash the Zahn, which is their wit beer, is almost exactly the same. So if you can go through the book, you'll see the mashing for Zahn, everything in the recipe for Zahn. We don't talk about the spice there. If you go to the end, then Stephen actually talks about the spicing of his beer, and they've dropped back the coriander. But you can look at the book, and it has specifically how much coriander you would want to use per gallon,
right.
And you can convert it. And my favorite thing, which is this is in the book, so Zahn in September won the gold medal at the Great American Beer Festival. When they wanted to enter their beer, they went into the brewery, and it's a seasonal beer. They had no beer. So they went onto the shelves of Kansas City, bought beer, and entered that in GABF.
Interesting.
So that was off the shelf.
Right.
You know, some people will come in GABF, you know, we baby this beer, or it's a special recipe, like that. And that's why it won the recipe. They went to the shelf, bought the beer, won the gold medal.
Wow. Hey, that's a testament to a well-packaged beer, right?
Yeah.
You know?
I've heard of a few breweries doing that, actually,
Really?
over the last couple of years, yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
So, now, is it just the amount of spices, though, Stan, or is it where in the process, you know, maybe what time in the boil you put these things in, or whether you do it after the boil?
Generally, you want to add them at knockout to keep the quality, but we've got, you've got Witterkirk. I'm terrible at pronouncing that, which is the Babic Brewery in Belgium.
Yeah.
They add them at the beginning and add more because they're worried about it contaminating. And then the other factor is how fresh your spices are, and certainly in the course of coriander, what the source of your spices are. You know, Randy Mosher loves the spices from the Indian restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got, which you can get anywhere. I mean, we're in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I can get these great rugby corianders.
Right.
And it's like a pound is maybe 99 cents.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, it's enough. I can make wit beer for a very long time.
Yeah.
Since you're not a big fan of coriander.
For a 15-month trip, for example.
And they're big, but you've got to use less of those ones because they are really pungent.
Okay.
So it's sort of a matter of getting to know, just like it's getting to know your yeast or whatever, getting to know your spices.
Okay.
And is there any, should you treat like bitter orange peel as a late hop addition or something? Is that?
A late hop addition.
Okay.
So what does that mean? Like as in
like
1
a
minute?
knockout.
A knockout, yeah.
Okay.
And it's not going to add much bittering. Just flavor.
Yeah, you're not really, there's a lot of people are using a combination of both sweet and bitter, but yeah, you're not looking for adding the bittering, I think, from that.
Okay. All right, and one more topic that I want to cram in here before we let you go, because I think we can cover it quickly, and especially because this is a wheat style that I do really enjoy. It's the Dunkel style. So how do we get color in these sort of Dunkel beers that are using wheat, but have, a lot of them can be really a dark amber? Does that come from a specific kind of wheat?
Well, your two choices are, first of all, you can just use a dark malt. It doesn't need to be wheat because most wheat beers are still, 50, 60, or at the top end, 70% wheat. You can also buy the dark wheat, like Wireman does a Dunkel wheat.
Okay.
Is it really necessary to have the Dunkel wheat? Probably not. So I think in terms of a Dunkel, that nice round quality, then it's fine to use colored malt with that. But to really get that character, just like to get a really good Dunkel, then you are talking decoction.
Ah, okay. So you're kind of doing a bit of burning to...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. What about this? I'm looking back at Todd Ashman's wheat wine recipe, and he uses red wheat malt. What is red wheat malt?
Well, it's red wheat. That's what you get in a lot of red wheat in Kansas. A lot of places, red wheat. That's what Dan Carey uses in his beers.
Okay.
It's just wheat. it's red.
So does it add this kind of a red color also, or
not necessarily?
No. Okay. All right. That's kind of what I was curious about. All right. Well, listen, I got to suggest that you guys get this book, not just because I like Stan, but because it's a really fascinating read.
It's more than about wheat, too. It's a lot of information about beer.
Yeah. Between the history that they're talking about where the style comes from and where the wheat comes from, if you listen back a couple of weeks ago to Brian Hunt and talking about how much your region played a part in your beer, wheat is really a fine example of that. Because there's one, and Stan talks about this, where there's one school of thought that talks about, wheat is used because of its qualities, right? Because of what it added to beer. And there's another school of thought that says, well, it was used because that's what was growing around the Netherlands and what we know as Belgium now. So it's really a fascinating story about beer, not just about using wheat in your beer. And all along the way, you get a bunch of recipes. How many recipes would you say are in this book, Stan?
Well, there are two parts, which is also in Brew Like a Monk. There's a lot of, it's got all the ingredients there. It's not a specific recipe, and then recipe-wise, there's about a dozen. But you add the others in, and it's more like about 3 dozen.
Right.
But you can figure a lot of that stuff out, even if you don't have the percentages. I'm sure you can at least get something close, which is kind of all that really a lot of homebrewers want. They will just want you to get them close, and then they kind of like to figure it out the rest of the way. I found.
But what I really enjoyed and only came across by pure chance is when I started on Brew Like a Monk, which again Ray Daniels called me up and said, "You want to write this book?" Somehow thinking I could do it. That when you go talk to brewers, they may hold the percentages of the recipe somewhat secret.
Yeah.
But man, they'll tell you everything about process. And to me, it always comes down to process.
Right. Well, like JP said, if you can kind of figure out, especially if you kind of compare a few recipes, what you want your recipe to be, listening to these guys talk about their process and every bit of it, that's really the nuts and bolts that you really want to get to.
Yeah.
So it's another good read from you, Stan. I appreciate you putting this book out. And, of course, spending the time with us, too.
Yeah.
I'll see you in Minneapolis.
Yeah, that's exactly where you'll see us.
Are you going to be in Chicago for CBC?
It's up in the air. I don't think so. I think I'm going to miss it this year. And I'll tell you why, because it's not my audience. I go to the craft... I've been every year since we started because I get to meet a lot of you guys. I get to meet a lot of industry people and craft brewers, and that's been great for the show. But I don't get a lot of content for the listeners out of it, so I think I'm cutting it out of the budget this year. I'm going to skip it, because I think it's back in San Diego or something a year from... No, it's in San Francisco next year.
Yeah, it's San Francisco next year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they're sent in Chicago this time, so people can just start to get adjusted to how expensive it is. And then it's going to San Francisco and just blow the top off of everything.
Yeah, it's you know what? That's pretty smart, actually. So I think I might skip it. I won't see you there. I'll see you in San Francisco, but I definitely will all be out in Minneapolis.
Okay. Well, like I said, just bring your detox medicine with you.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, and we're going to have our anniversary party out there too, Stan. So
in Minneapolis?
We are. We're going to do it the Wednesday right before. So if you're coming in...
I'm coming in Wednesday morning.
You are?
You're invited.
Yes.
Oh, man.
But I am planning on judging on Thursday, so
we'll take it easy on
all the other judges will be there, too.
Well,
I need to be in bed by 5 a.m.
Well, that's fine. We'll have you in... JP will drop you off personally at 4:30.
Yeah. No,
okay.
Just tell me what story you want me to read you first, and we're good.
So that he can prepare.
Yeah.
Bevo, is there any questions here I'm missing? I want to make sure that the listeners get to use and abuse you here, Stan.
Okay.
I think the one question here is, does the book have a du sel recipe?
Well, actually, that's the recipe for white that he created for the book.
Oh, it is?
Belgian white.
So it's in there?
Yes.
All right. Oh, even better. All right, Stan, we'll let you go. I know it's getting late there, and we'll see you in Minneapolis. Thanks again.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
All right, brother.
Bye,
Cheers.
Stan.
There you go. Stan Hieronymus, everybody. Great guest. Love to have him in the studio sometime. I think he'd be a lot of fun to hang out with. He's a nice guy.
Very nice guy.
Great writer.
What a cool trip, man. 15 months.
Yeah, how do you swing that? Wow.
It's crazy.
You really got to love your family, though.
That's
I mean,
true.
I couldn't do it. I'd be jumping out the window somewhere around the 80.
Yeah,
Well, those are the only people you could do that with.
Your family.
No.
Yeah. Not even.
What? No.
Yeah, but your family's a bunch of shitheads.
My family stinks.
Yeah, well,
most of them. Some of them. Most of them.
Yeah.
Even friends wouldn't be friends after the first 3 months.
It is a long
It'd be
time.
hard, man.
And for the 11-year-old too, like the homeschool, the whole thing, like she's with mom and dad the whole time. They better be cool parents. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To hang out that long. Otherwise, I mean, Sam, he grew up with his parents constantly, homeschool.
Yeah. Look how that turned out.
They went out to movies together, bowl every Friday night. It was with his parents, like all that stuff. And
It's like you're dating your parents at some point. It's
They
awful.
took a tour of the Caldecott Tunnel as a field trip.
So for those of you who don't know, the Caldecott Tunnel is just a commuter tunnel. It's a stupid hole through a mountain.
It's a 2-lane road, man.
that we use to get to work if we have to if we come
drive
from the
through it every
burbs
day.
out here to get to the San Francisco Oakland area.
It has tile.
So it's like a 1-minute tour, right? To go in one end, you come out
What the
other.
hell was the tour? You can go up in that thing?
Yeah, there's offices and stuff up there.
Offices?
Yeah, really.
For what?
To pull the lever, I guess, to change the direction.
Pull the lever.
Somebody makes a command decision.
Yeah, this is the
Let's
lever.
change the direction.
That's the tunnel. Go home, kid.
Yeah, there's 3 tunnels. 2 are always going
We'll
one
have
way.
to have Sam on to report on this, I think.
Yeah, I want to know what the hell is on the Caldecott Tunnel tour. How old is he then, Beef? 18?
2 weeks ago.
No, he graduated when he was 16, so...
Oh.
Yeah, well, when your
He was
mom's putting A's down on everything, it's easy.
Perfect
Shut up,
attendance.
JP.
Yeah.
All right, you can find Brewing with Wheat right now over at morebeer.com, our sponsor for today's show. Is it not on the website yet?
We haven't gotten it yet. They don't even ship until it should be in around the 5th of next month. So
all right.
I just got this advanced copy on
You got the
Friday
advanced
saying, would
copy.
you guys like to buy it? And I say, yes, please.
Okay. Well, keep an eye out then on morebeer.com where you will find Brewing with Wheat, the new book by Stan Hieronymus, and you'll also find his other books over at morebeer.com.
Yes, sir.
Brew Like a Monk. What else did he do? I think I only own Brew Like a Monk from him, but he said it's over 10 books that this man's been involved with.
Was he involved with Wild Brews? Did he do anything with that?
I think it was either that one or... Because I own all of this. I own Wild Brews, Brew Like a Monk. Now I own Brewing with Wheat. Gotta love this show.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I do like his dedication, though, to the memory of Michael Jackson, because all books that would broaden what we know about beer should be so dedicated until further notice.
That is a pretty good dedication.
I like that. It's pretty good, man.
Yeah. Sometimes I read that and I plug in my name instead of Michael Jackson's, and I dream about that.
But to the memory of Michael Jackson, because Justin Crosley would be, what?
Yeah. You got it. You're good at that, JP.
I'm good at things.
All right. Here's
I'm
what
good
we're
at
going to do.
things.
We're going to take a quick break. It's our last break. When we come back, we're going to hear from Drew Beecham.
Oh, good.
About why he's running for the AHA. We've got a little bit of feedback to do. We've got Shat's announcements to do. We've got Drunk of the Week to give away, even though it's early. I'm sure some of you have been partaking in the sauce tonight. If I know you guys.
And I do.
Yeah. So hang in there. It's the session. We'll be right back, wrapping things up. And don't forget, we're doing a raffle this week, too. So you're going to get to, if you had joined the BN Army, you might win some shit this week. Hang in there. It's the session.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. The Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
Hey, Push, the new brewery's looking good.
Thanks, Finn. Piece by piece.
Well, let's fire her up. Whoa! Is that a new kettle?
Yeah, just got it brand new, but paid half price.
What? And that blade scale?
40% off.
The new tap handle?
$5 instead of 13. Got a new regulator for the brew stand, too, but $5 instead of 25.
Dude, where are you stealing all this stuff from?
Where else? The More Beer deal of the day.
Announcing the Beer, and More Beer deal of the day. Every day, a new fantastic deal from big items to small that will blow you away. Boil kettles, carboy carriers, sterile siphon starters, digital timers. Watch morebeer.com every day for a new deal, and you just might find the item you've been waiting for at a price you cannot believe. Hurry, because stock is limited on most items.
And that sweet Guinness cap, let me guess.
The More Beer deal of the day.
Yeah, I knew it. Come on, let's brew something. Find the More Beer deal of the day at morebeer.com. Celebrity voices impersonated.
BN Army members, are you looking for a discount on hops? Keep listening. Nico's Homebrew Supply at nicobrew.com has hops by the ounce and by the pound. Choose from varieties like Amarillo, Centennial, East Kent Goldings, Hollertower, Simcoe, Summit, Tomahawk, Warrior, Willamette, and more. And adding new varieties all the time, many for less than $20 a pound. Whether a couple ounces at a time or an 11-pound bag, all hops are shipped vacuum sealed and frozen straight to you. Nico's Homebrew Supply offers store-wide $5 flat rate shipping and won't waste your money on unnecessary overhead or advertising. They're going bare bones and passing the savings on to you. The staff at Nico's Homebrew Supply loves to brew and is committed to keeping homebrewing affordable and accessible to anyone who wants to join in this great hobby. And for a limited time, use coupon code BNARMY at checkout for a Brewing Network discount. Visit nicobrew.com. That's Niko brew.com for your hops and more. nicobrew.com, your bare bones buddy in the brewing business.
Fix that door. You better get out of my general store. You sold me one, you can sell me one more. I ain't gonna sell you no beer no more. DUI. Too drunk to think about it, might as well try. 100 pretty ladies and they're giving me the eye. I told you once, I told you twice. Drinking and driving is a bad man's vice. Left, left, right. And a right, right, left. You can go out for a while, but don't be late. We're going driving on the interstate. You can take my cross, just close the gate. I'm too drunk to think about it, might as well try. There's a million pretty ladies and they're giving me the eye. Boys be boys, men will be men. Know what you did, you don't do it again. Gonna do it again. Gonna do it again. You're on the interstate and you're going slow. I missed my turn. Which way do I go? Step out of the car. You're going to jail. No. DUI. Too drunk to think about it. Might as well try. Cocaine, Chardonnay, 4th of July. Walk the line, heel to toe. Tilt your head back and touch your nose. What? Walk the line, heel to toe. Tilt your head back and touch your nose. What? Walk the line, heel to toe. Tilt your head back and touch your nose. Recite backwards the alphabet. Up yours, pig. You do that shit. DUI. Don't think about it. Might as well try. All the pretty ladies and they're giving me the eye. Walk in line, heel to toe. Tilt my head back and I touch my nose. Walk in line, heel to toe. Play the guitar and go, do, go. Tilt my head back and I touch my nose. Walking in line, heel to toe. Tilt my head back and I touch my nose. Put your hand on your hips, follow the pen. I can't hear you, man. Say it again. Put your hand on your hips and follow the pen. I fucked your sister in the back of my van. Put your hand on your hips and follow the light. Sir, just want to go home tonight. DUI. Too long to think about it, might as well try. Cocaine, Chardonnay, 4th of July. I told you once, I told you twice. Drinking and driving is a bad man's vice. Told you once, told you twice. Drinking and driving is a bad man's vice. Told you once, told you twice. Drinking and driving is a bad man's vice.
It's fun funny is brewers will say, yeah, I don't brew to style. I'm brewing my own beer. And it's like a German Pilsner, but it's black. Yeah, it's a sports beer. You know?
The home of live beer radio. TheBrewingNetwork.com.
Because like beer,
Radio shouldn't suck. You're listening to The Session.
you're listening to the Brewing Network. Because like beer,
Radio shouldn't suck.
So I got to give a little plug to my boys at Drake's, because I've pretty much been living on their beer for the last 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
It's been both food and drink for me.
It's frink.
Well, Chad walked out of, after the Winterfest, there was not much beer left. But we actually did a run to Drake's because they supplied like the extra beer when we were running out of beer.
We did a BEERUN.
And so, but we did end up having a little bit of beer left over.
Thank you.
And Chad grabbed a good half barrel of Drake's Amber. Yep. And been living on that. That's really nice. Plus, the last time they were here, I think they brought over some 1500.
That's a good beer.
Which is a really good pale ale.
Oh, yeah.
The Drake's 1500.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
I think that's Roger's
They
recipe.
gave us the recipe when they were on the show.
Yeah.
It's a nice beer. It's just a good West Coast. And for me, it's good because it's more on the hop aroma side than it is the hop bitterness side. So it's just a real kind of danky pale ale.
They've got that down for sure.
Yeah.
All their IPAs, double IPAs, oh, man, they're awesome.
Yeah, on the flavor side.
I think that is 4 years ago, maybe. I think Roger came up with that.
What is it?
Is their 1500th batch.
Yeah. Oh, right.
So that was kind of their beer for that.
Yeah. All right, that's all. Just a little personal plug, and thanks for
they deserve it.
Keeping me alive on beer for the last couple weeks here. That's what's been on tap. And Chad should be thanking them, too, because it means I haven't been drinking his homebrew.
Thank you, Drake's.
It's been getting to stick around a little bit. I know he's got a nice Helles out back that I haven't touched because the Amber's
it's gone. No, it's gone.
Who the hell drank all that? Yeah,
just because you're not doing it.
It's on his hide list.
Oh, he's
Chad
a hide
does
list.
that. He brings out. He'll bring it out for a little while.
Yeah.
And then he'll go, no, it blew last night.
Oh.
And then what'll happen is like Jameel or somebody will come over, and all of a sudden they're drinking Chad's Helles, and I'll go, what the fuck? I thought he's like, oh, there was a little. I had a little bit.
The Jay-Z step.
The line was clogged.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if
that's what
Jameel
he
wants
says.
a
He's
beer.
like, oh, I thought it blew. Yeah, the line was clogged. That's it. And I'm stupid. I'm like, oh, okay. I believe it every time.
Even though he filters his beer.
Guess that happens.
I was out of CO2.
Yeah.
Ran out of gas.
Yeah. I do. Every time I go, oh, okay. I'm so retarded.
What else you got?
Yeah.
This water is beer? Yeah.
Right.
No, really.
All right, couple things to get to, and then we're going to talk to Drew Beecham, who's running again.
Running again.
Rerunning.
I don't think that's how it goes. All right, let's see. We could probably do feedback first, especially because it's real short.
Oh my God!
You've got mail.
Kick ass.
All right, feedback's brought to you today by Williams Brewing. You can go to williamsbrewing.com, and they are a great online resource for everything you need homebrew. All right. I didn't have a lot this week. I got a lot of props this week, a lot of praise. So I just deleted a bunch of emails. You know, a lot of people saying nice things about us. So just so you guys know, nice things said about you. But a couple of good things happened. Ernie sent me a message, and Ernie says, it's titled BN Listener Gets Gold in German Pills. Justin, talent hack. I just entered my first competition in the War of the Wurts.
Oh.
Which I guess is the second largest beer competition on the East Coast.
Sounds like an STD competition.
And I took... it does sound like that. Schumann would win that. He took first place in German Pills. Yeah, that's right. He says, I'm sure I owe this honor to you guys. I was floored. So just a note to say that I heard at least another half dozen BNs mentioned at the club. So thanks for all you do, and cheers.
Yeah, I have those results in front of me, actually. Ryan Maple put down the Brewing Network at his club. He won with an oatmeal stout, took gold.
Right.
Blake Morris also took a gold in English Imperial IPA.
Wow.
Put Down Brewing Network. Let's see. And Blake also had a silver or second place for a smoked porter.
That's good.
And if I'm missing any, I'm sorry.
It was just those three.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what?
Where's that? East Coast?
Pennsylvania. This is put on by the Keystone Hops Homebrew Club.
We're owning Pennsylvania right now.
They should put the Brewing Network as the assistant brewmaster.
Now, it's no longer good enough that we're your club.
Yeah.
JP now wants you to put us down as the assistant brewer.
Oh, I see.
Well, just the ones who go, I owe it all to the
See how
show.
much they...
Hey, and Tasty, how impressed were you with the results?
Oh, yeah, this actually took place yesterday, and we're looking at the results today online. That is a great competition.
Yeah.
Those guys know what they're doing.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a great sign that you know what you're doing when you got the results.
When you got that many. Oh, that's true. When you get the results the next day,
Some
I see what you're saying.
can't seem to get that right for weeks.
I
don't
see
know
what
what
you're
Or
saying.
months, for that matter.
They have an award ceremony, and somehow those there seem to know.
Right.
But somebody forgets the sheet or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like waiting for the Sunday show to appear in iTunes.
It's like waiting for your
right.
BJCP test scores.
Yeah. Takes a long, long time. Are you...
Yes.
You got them?
No. I got my number, but I haven't got my results. I took it October 3rd.
So are you now BJCP certified or not?
Yes, I am.
You are?
I don't have a rank.
You're an apprentice or something.
What's
it called?
Recognized.
You're
I
recognized.
guess, until I get a rank.
Which you have to do a bunch of judging till you get a rank or something?
No.
How do you get a rank?
They just have to... You can... Okay, you take the test, and you can put your name on there, and then throw up on the paper and hand it in, and you're a judge, technically. Because if you get 60 points or under, you can get 1 point and be a judge.
Oh. I would have taken the test a long time ago if I knew that.
But you're ranked as an apprentice, and then to move up in ranking, you have to take it again and do a bunch of crap. I don't even know my starting rank yet. They just haven't gotten around to it. I can't believe it. It's
probably somewhere between douche and lonely. Just saying.
At the intersection of douche and lonely, you'll find
complicated chart.
Judge number G129.
Get on the left side of douchiness.
Yeah.
On the bottom.
Yeah. It's an XY graph.
I was going to say, there's an axis there somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know, but come on. 5 months? Seriously? It's a test.
It's a test. All right.
Well, yeah.
All right. It's not mine. It's not my complaint. It's feedback. So
you took it 5 months ago?
Took it October 3rd or September, late September, early October.
I see.
It's a subjective test. It has to be graded. So that's the problem.
Yeah. Well, you're right.
Not enough graders. And fortunately, there's a lot of test takers. That's great. Need more judges.
There you go.
Well, I would be much more... Oh, never mind.
We'd be glad to have you. I say we. I'm not a judge.
How come you're not a judge yet? Chad, you got nothing else to do?
Yeah,
I am.
Oh.
See? I am.
Just like you said, JP, he threw up on a paper and
there you go.
called himself a judge.
He got the 1 point.
Yeah. But it somehow... It kind of diminishes your excitement level. If you have to wait 6-7 months,
yes.
Then it's like, I really want to do it, and then it kind of goes out.
It's an effort to do it, and then it's an effort to wait. Both.
Yeah, and then it's like now I don't even give a shit half the time.
Yeah.
The other problem I have with it is that the test is always at like 8 in the morning. Why can't they have an afternoon test?
For drinkers,
They had one at 9.
I don't understand. Who are they dealing with here? It's just 8 a.m. And you had to drive to Sacramento to be at an 8 a.m. test.
To retake the tasting portion.
Right.
But let's proctor one. We can have it at 4 o'clock on the patio.
8 o'clock at night.
See?
There you go.
I could show up for that.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, that's my feedback.
Okay. Last bit of feedback here.
Brought to you by JP.
Rich from Virginia wrote in, says, thanks for all you guys do. For us homebrewers, I'm a Monday morning listener living on the East Coast. Up yours, Doc, he says. It's hard for me to stay up and drink and listen to the show. I'm slowly getting my fiancée into listening to the podcast, he says. She's got a good sense of humor, so she does appreciate the tomfoolery that goes on. I don't use that word.
Who's Tom?
No.
I just want to say. But what makes her laugh is a good old-fashioned burp. So I was brewing the other day.
That is funny.
He says, and listening to an archive, and she heard one of you guys belch, and she laughed like a little kid. Maybe if each one of you would burp a little more during the show, she would actually enjoy it a little more. I think it's worth a shot. I do have to say, this is the first time, this is why I put this feedback in here.
Right.
It's the first time I've ever been told that the burping that we do is a good thing.
It's great.
Because it's been a criticism since the beginning. I can't believe that you guys belch into the microphone.
But it's real.
Yeah. We keep it raw.
Yeah. I can't... raw. I can't believe and I have to hear you. I love the show. I love everything, except then you have to belch in the microphone.
That's a good Jay Leno voice you get.
That's what happens all the time. So I'm happy to receive the first belch positive feedback.
Honey, I'm belch positive.
Geisbeer wants you to know, JP, that it took 6 months to get his first test results, and he heard it's even longer now.
Yeah, it took Nate and Nicole 7 to 8 months.
A panel of test judges are all volunteers, and they have to agree on the results, so it takes time.
Well, you know what? I want half an hour show.
Bitching.
I'm gonna tell you how to revamp the BJCP to make it faster and
What's
better.
the difference? It doesn't matter.
It matters to me.
Let's get Gordon on the line.
Because I care enough about the industry to care about things.
What does it change for you, though? It doesn't change whether you get the results now or yesterday. It doesn't change anything.
It's different if you haven't put the time in to take the test. It's different.
I see.
It's a lot of work. Like Tasty said, it's a lot of work.
You're a crybaby.
I am.
That's what the problem is here.
It's one of the problems, yeah. But I admit it.
And the
Some
other
people
problem
can't
is
admit
that
it.
they take too long.
I admit it.
That's true.
Yeah, thank you. Are you done yet? Because this is taking too long.
Yeah, all right, one more thing. He says, the session of the Jameel Show, I entered, because of the session of the Jameel Show, I entered my first comp in August of 2009 and took third in the light hybrid category with my American Wheat Ale.
That's a hard category.
First time. Wow.
And my second competition in December, I took second place in light hybrids with a blonde ale.
Wow.
Couldn't have done it without your help, so thank you.
Next one, you better get gold, man.
Thank you all very much. Yes, even you, JP. Rich from Virginia, shove it, Doc.
Shove it.
He said shove it.
That's a new one.
Apparently, he doesn't like the bad language because he used both tomfoolery and shove it in the same feedback. All right, and that's your feedback for today. It's brought to you by Williams Brewing. You can go to williamsbrewing.com. All right, Chad. What do you got?
All right. Well, the Indian Peaks Alers Homebrew Club is putting on a competition in Colorado, and they are accepting entries between March 8th and 19th, and the comp will be on the 27th. Check them out. Go to Indian Peaks Alers Homebrew Club. Google it, and you got all the info there. Also, the BAM World Cup of Beer comp is coming up, and the entry window is open. Deadline is March 13th, so make sure you get all your beers in. That means I can get my beers in now.
Nice.
Before you drink them all. The window's open.
The ones that are gone, you're going to be able to enter them?
But this is a really big event. April 3rd, one of the biggest comps on the West Coast, and they do a really good job, and a lot of good judges, so make sure you get your beers in there. Puget Sound Pro-Am is going on April 20th. April 24th. The deadline is April 20th. You can go to bewbc.org and check out all the info on that. I believe it's all styles. AHA Rally coming up next weekend at St. Arnold Brewing Company. Make sure you go out and support the AHA. St. Arnold is a great place from what I hear.
And great beer.
And, so check them out.
You should go.
And if you're not sick of beer weeks, like we are here, San Francisco Beer Week just ended, but Sacramento Beer Week is starting up tomorrow. They're having their opening night. A lot of events, over 100 events going on. Tons of beer, tons of homebrewers around. So if you get the chance and you're in the Sacramento area, go out and check that one out.
I am fully sick of Beer Week.
I am too.
You have no idea how happy I was this week that there was not a single beer event to go to.
I'm
Except your kegerator.
sick of Beer Week, and I think I'm sick because of Beer Week.
Yeah, could be.
So
that being said, I think I'm going to go to an event or two at Sacramento Beer Week. We were invited to go up there, and there are a couple of good ones. I think there might be an Odonata beer dinner that sounds amazing to me because it's Odonata, and it's good beer.
I want to check out Two Rivers Cider Company. They're putting on a couple events, and I got to tell you, I haven't been a big cider fan, but we had their ciders at our festival, and they were amazing. So I'd really like to go to a couple of their events and check it out. I think they have an open house. I forget which day it is, but you can go check out what they do, and good opportunity to try some really kick-ass ciders.
Two Rivers is like pretty much the only American cider company that I will drink.
Yeah, it's good cider.
It's really good.
Vince is a great guy, too.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
All right. Shat's announcements are brought to you today by White Labs Yeast Company. You can join their customer club by going to whitelabs.com, and you get special rewards and things and stuff. White Labs Yeast. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay.
Do you have some news? Some more news?
I do have some news. Beav, you don't have my call yet, do you? Yeah. Give me my call, please. Yeah. So... Yeah, I got sent some beer news this week that I found pretty interesting. A couple of things. First of all, so Tasty and Chet, you guys went to this.
That's for you, Rich.
There you go. Tasty and Chet, you went to this Bay Area Mashers, won Homebrew Club of the Year.
Well deserved, yes.
Yeah, great club.
Yeah, great guys.
And they got a party thrown for them at Anchor.
As Anchor does every year for the winner of that.
Whoever the Homebrew Club of the Year is, right? And this is a West Coast thing, right? It's
California.
It's California Homebrew Club of the Year.
Yeah.
All right. So, and then you go to this party. You guys went to the party that they threw at Anchor, right?
Great party.
They asked us to come.
So I got an email today it came from Anchor. Jameel actually forwarded it to me, but it came from Anchor. And so some douche at this party stole a picture off the wall at Anchor.
Right.
And here's the thing: if you've never been to Anchor before, they're big on history, and they're a big part, obviously, of craft brewing history.
It's like half museum, half brewery.
Yeah, right. And they take a lot of pride in the state of their brewery. It's a beautiful, it's amazing facility. Yeah. The brewery is just gorgeous.
It's a great tour and a great place.
Apparently, a lot of the old brewing photos on the wall are actually they're not Anchors. They belong to Fritz. It's Fritz Maytag, the owner. It's his collection. A lot of it.
Wow.
So I guess sometime after the party, they found an empty frame.
Oh.
I don't know if it was still on the wall or laying on the ground or what the deal was, but an old brewing photo had been taken from the party. Now, I, of course, am not saying that BAM did this.
No.
There were other people at the party.
To do that.
And I think that homebrewers, if anybody's going to be respectful, it's homebrewers.
Like everybody else has to be on a tour there. They let, for this party, people roam around, go into the hop room, go into the, pretty much run of the place because we know the code, right?
Yeah.
Well, some asshole...
Tasty, you took the photo, didn't you?
No, it wasn't
you
me.
son of a bitch.
I was going to say, I thought I saw Chad at the frame store.
I could have asked for the photo for you. I could have asked.
I replicated that. Some asshole obviously doesn't know the code, so he screwed it up.
So I will say this, though. So Chad was nice enough to he brought me back a poster from
they were
Anchor.
giving some away.
They were giving out posters, right? And it's laying on my desk here in the studio. And I'm starting to read this email, like just the beginning of it, and I'm like, oh shit.
Maybe Chad thought
I have the photo. I've got the thing. And it wasn't until I read further that I discovered it was an old photograph and not a poster. But I thought I'm looking at this Anchor poster laying on my desk.
It's all rolled up.
I don't know where it came from.
Yeah.
And I'm reading the beginning of this email that something got stolen, and I'm going, great. Fucking Chad gets all drunk. He goes to the thing. He steals me an Anchor thing. Which, of course, I was proud of him for a second.
Not the case.
Not the case. But an actual photograph was taken. And so I bring it up, for one, because it's amusing to talk about. But I also bring it up because whoever gets invited to Anchor and then steals, even if you show up at this place on the tour, they give you like all the beer you want. You can have pretzel. They give you enough to like cleanse your palate in between.
Nothing to take. There's nothing to steal.
They're just so hospitable, right? Like it's a really nice hospitable place to go. So I just can't help but think, who is going to do this? Who needs the picture so badly? So Anchor kind of sent out this email saying, listen, we understand. You probably were having a real good time. You were caught up in the moment. And you thought it was a funny idea or a great idea to take the photograph at the time. And really, we just want the photograph back. It belongs to Fritz. It's out of his personal collection. We just want it back. We don't care. Just bring the photo back. So I thought I would bring it up on the air and just maybe reiterate that, okay, we've all done stupid things before. If you're listening to this program and you have the photograph, just bring the photo back, because you kind of ruin it for all of us.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, every year, this place throws this party. Yeah. And by the way, it's their dime. Yeah. I mean, don't think that this stuff is free. Yeah. No. None of these parties that we get invited to and that are complimentary, or just because some brewery is nice enough to give you their beer instead of make you pay for it, don't think for a second that it doesn't cost them money. So you kind of ruin it for all of us if Anchor comes back next year and says, well, we're no longer going to have the West Coast, the California Homebrew Club of the Year at our place,
right?
Because when we do, you guys fuck shit up.
Yeah.
So, I just thought I'd put it out there. Just bring the photo back.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
It looks a lot better on their wall than like some random photo on yours anyway.
It'll probably be thumbtacked to the garage door of some asshole's, home brewery or something like that.
Right. But I mean, we're talking about stuff like Janis Joplin and her band, in the brewery, pictures like that, black and white pictures.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. It's just ridiculous.
Some real history.
Like, it's pretty cool. I mean, they have a lot of really cool stuff, so that's ridiculous.
So, come on.
I agree.
Just like
so,
I said,
if you saw anything,
it really kind of ruins it for all of us too. Like I said, I mean that's kind of the point here too. It's not just that it's theft, which is bad enough as it is, but it's kind of theft off of hospitality, and we would all like to enjoy that hospitality someday. God forbid Doze does something one of these years and wins Homebrew Club of the Year, Tasty.
Can't seem to do anything.
And, gets invited down there, or doesn't now, because some douche wants to take the photo. This kind of happens to us sometimes, too. I can't say that anything's ever been stolen, but, people just, when you throw a party, when you become the place that is that hospitable, and the BN can do that, where we throw these parties, people do tend to have a little too much, and sometimes they take advantage.
Say you're on a bus or something, and you get caught up in the moment. It happens. It totally does.
Right. Or other things. I wasn't specifically referring to.
Well, there were some things at our winter beer fest happened.
Yeah, like the guy at the Winterfest who goes around pissing on every door in the building,
Yeah.
Well, that's just class. I mean, that had to be done.
All right, so I just wanted to put that out there.
And, well, you did.
Just bring the goddamn photo back.
Yeah, that's all they want. It'll fix your karma up, because you've got a lot of bad karma right now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
you're not going to find a close parking spot at the Safeway for a long time, mister.
Oh, your beer's contaminating.
Yeah. Your wife's cheating on you.
Oh.
With JP.
Oh. Nobody needs
I'm just trying to make it as bad as I can make it sound.
You're getting there.
You're getting there, that's for sure.
JP knocks her up. Oh. JP wants to keep it.
Oh. Under my bed.
It keeps getting worse, right?
This needs to stop right now.
All right, on that note.
Christ is crying.
I've got other news, but I'll come back to it. Drew Beecham's on the line with us. Hey, Drew.
Good karma.
Hey, guys.
How are you, brother?
I'm doing wonderful. And just before I get started about anything else, I want to say to the douchebag who took Frick's photo,
yeah,
may all your beer be Bud Light from now on.
There you go. Not even Bud Light Golden Wheat.
Just regular stuff.
Just regular.
Not even Bud Light Lime.
Yeah.
No.
Chelada.
Just regular old Bud Light. I like that curse, Drew. It's a good one.
Hey, got to go with what flows.
All right, so Drew Beecham is running for the AHA Governing Committee, and earlier in the program we heard from Michael Fairbrother, and right now we're going to hear from Drew. Drew, you're already on the board right now, is that correct?
Yeah, actually, I'm kind of in an unusual position for me. I'm actually an incumbent.
You are?
And I'm actually the only incumbent in this election, so...
What does that mean for people like Bevo who doesn't understand what incumbent means?
Well, you're on your first 3-year term, right? Is it your first?
This is the end of my first 3-year term.
Okay. So, as I was saying at the beginning, you can do 3 3-year terms. And if I know Drew, he intends to do all 3 goddamn terms.
I intend to change the rules so I can be dictator for life.
Right.
Just more to get elected.
I like that.
Right. So, and what happens is at the end of your term, which is where you are now, at the end of your first 3-year term, if you want to be on again, you're automatically on the ballot. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you, of course, want to remain on the governing committee. Let's start there. Maybe tell us why you'd like to remain on the governing committee.
It's one of those weird things where I think it's just like anything else, any other political position. Your first little bit of time in office, you're kind of learning the ropes.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel that's what I spent at least part of my first term doing. And now that I've been in there, I kind of understand what's going on and what needs to be done.
Okay.
So I kind of feel I'm at the point now where I can do more than I've already done for the group as a whole. So it's an interesting situation because the HA's been kind of in flux. When I first came onto the governing committee 3 years ago, we were at a point where the whole future of the HA was actually somewhat in question. It was just after the merger with the BA.
Okay.
So the AOB went away, became the BA, and now there was this weird side organ called the HA. And a lot of people were wondering, well, why does a craft beer organization really need a homebrew organization attached to it? Isn't that kind of, silly? And so the guys before me and during my term spent a lot of time trying to prove to everybody else that, hey, no, there's a real reason we should be here, real reason we should be part of the organization.
Okay.
And so a lot of our focus initially was on growing the membership. How many members can we have by the end of the year? And Kate and Gary and the governing committee and everybody involved has just been doing an outstanding job. And we're now at the point where we're actually well beyond where anybody thought we were going to be.
Great.
So, yay to those guys. But now that we've done that, we have to figure out what's next. And where we've been focusing on getting new members, my focus is on the idea of what do we do for the membership.
Okay. So what do we get as members from the AHA?
It's not just what do we get from as a member. I mean, there's always that question that whenever you wander around and people know that you're kind of a representative of the AHA, they always ask you, hey, so why should I join this organization? What's in it for me?
Oh, they do? I'm going to have to answer questions if I get elected?
Yeah, but we'll provide you with an index card.
Thank you. Good. Carry on.
Okay. And the answer's always kind of been hard to, you got the pub discount program. Well, hey, I live 100 miles away from my nearest pub. That's part of that.
Yeah.
Oh, we do this legalization stuff. Well, I already live in a state where homebrewing is legal. What the hell do I care about Oklahoma, Alabama, Mississippi?
Valid.
Yeah, and so there are some valid concerns, and there's been kind of a focus in the past that the AHA is too much internal looking.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is there have always kind of been the rock stars of the AHA. Today, I mean, you got like Randy, you got Ray, you got Jamil, you got Gordon.
Rock all guys I'd like to party with. Yes, sir.
Yeah, exactly. And that's well and good when you're in a very top-down organization, but given where we are now, where we have this big membership, and we want to hold on to this big membership, we really want to be useful to this membership. And with the change that we're seeing in the membership, in terms of age, we really need to think about how do we make everybody have that voice, have an impact, and how do we get everybody to have the chance to actually be that rock star, even if it's only for a moment.
Drew's been practicing. This is good.
I've been thinking about this for a long while. Because, I mean, when you first get on there, it seems like there's not really a lot you can do as a member of the governing committee. But as you spend some time with it and you start thinking about it, I mean, it really becomes apparent that, I mean, there are some things that need to happen. There are some things that we need to do to keep the HA vital. And so, and I mean, me, I get the passion. I have the fire for this stuff. So, I want to keep it going.
Well, I think it's really noble to look to change the direction to be more member centric rather than worried so much about the organization. I think that's a good way to look at it because as a member, you want to like to think you're going to be getting something from it besides the magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. You look at how like homebrewing's changing right now. I mean, and I know you guys have some expertise in this since your demographic, but I mean, even looking at the HA conferences, over the past 2-3 years, they've really been skewing younger and younger.
Sure.
You're welcome.
When I first joined, it was like older white dudes, college educated, having some smarts behind them, and now it's skewing younger and younger.
We're all wearing BN shirts.
Yeah, all wearing.
Right.
I noticed that too.
I'll tell you, it terrified the crap out of me.
It's easy to see.
Yeah.
It terrified the crap out of me being in Oakland going, okay, hop grenade, hop grenade, hop grenade. Fucking hell.
It was that way in Cincinnati.
That's right.
And and I've said this before, I give you guys great credit for that. I think there's a certain fire, and it's a certain recognition for the idea that you need to recognize this. The younger audience that is now coming into brewing, is now coming into home brewing, is very much that millennial generation. They want to have a voice. So we need to give them that voice.
And they're ready to roll. They're really enthusiastic. I'm noticing a lot of that amongst these people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you got me. I know a lot about brewing. I play around a lot with brewing. I also spend a lot of time online talking about brewing with various people in different places, including on the New HA forum.
All right, your time's up, Drew.
Oh.
Yeah, now that you start talking about your qualifications being greater than mine, your time's up. No, carry on. I'm kidding. Go on.
No, okay. But no, I spent a lot of time, doing this, and the thing is, and people know me as being the guy who plays around and experiments a lot. But I learned so much in talking to other people, and even to this day, that I feel it's a very vital role for the HA to foster that sort of communication. Mm-hmm. So we can keep learning, so we can keep sharing. So the poor guy who's in the middle of nowhere with no homebrew club can actually still get his voice heard and still have an impact.
Wow. So. Drew Obama, ladies and gentlemen. Very well spoken.
I will bring you change.
Well, I think
but did not really do it.
I think you make an excellent point. And in fact, it's something I'm concerned about, the kind of the learning curve you're talking about with your first term. And now you get it. So I kind of like you as an incumbent. Yeah. I think that's you really make an excellent point, that you've been there, you've heard it, you see how it works, and now you can kind of work on an actual agenda.
Yeah.
If you've got ideas, it sounds like you now know where to work them in and kind of get started with that. I like that, Drew. That's a good point.
Now, Drew, as a current member of the board, you're on certain committees. Which committees are you on?
I am on both the Zymergy Content Committee, big surprise, and I'm also on the Web Committee.
Oh, the Web. Okay.
So,
that's another big surprise.
So content, both for the magazine and the website, is the committee that you're on.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you spend any time on the HA forum, you'll notice that it's primarily Denny and I who are responsible for keeping the thing under control.
Got it. Yeah.
So, but no, I mean, and those are both places where, I think there can be some interesting developments. We already have changes in the works for the magazine that will have a profound impact upon how everybody receives things, and we're trying to do the same thing for the web.
Will you hand deliver all of the Zymergy magazines if reelected?
On bicycle with a keg of beer on my back.
That would be Tasty's platform, actually.
Yes, I can do this.
Bringing a beer and yeah. Were you aware that I have a Facebook fan page, Vote for Justin Crosley?
I was not.
Yeah, you're in trouble, Drew.
Maybe I'll start Drew's too.
Unless you could strike some sort of liaison here, like where
vote for
vote for one, vote for both, kind of thing.
You have to have a ticket.
Well, you do get to
have a running mate.
There are 4 seats open, and there are 9 candidates. So you do, when you go to vote, and you can go to homebrewersassociation.org and click on the Vote Now button. When you go to vote, you get to vote for 4 people. And you can read everybody's profile there, as I said earlier, too. And, you're voting for all 4 seats. Drew being the only incumbent, the rest of us newbies.
And are you the only 2 from California?
I don't know.
I don't even know who else is running.
Hang on, let me look. Let's see. Well, here's all the candidates. Drew Beecham is from Pasadena. Fred Bonjour is from Michigan. Justin Crosley from Pacheco.
Representing
Sonny Pacheco.
Yeah, we're the only ones from California. Michael Fairbrother from New Hampshire. Al Hazan from Pennsylvania. Jake Keeler from Minnesota. Steve Marler from Virginia. Tom Schmidlin from Washington. And Douglas Warzinski from Utah.
Utah.
So, yes, although there are other California members already on the board.
Exactly.
We're the only nominees that are from California, Drew and I. So, Drew, anything else you'd like to add to your soapbox?
No, I mean that's pretty much what I've got. I mean, I feel really passionate about the idea that we need to give everybody in the organization a voice. It really is, I think, the most important thing that we can do. Because, we have, in the past we've seen these cycles where homebrewing becomes very popular and then suddenly crashes. And if we really want to insulate ourselves from that sort of thing this time, if we really want to keep the whole movement going forward, then I think the key is to make sure that people feel invested. It's not just that the AHA is something that you belong to. It's that the AHA is something that you're part of.
I told you he's good. Right?
It's great.
All right,
It was
Drew.
never in doubt.
Yeah. Drew's good. What'd you do so far, Drew? Anything? What'd you do for me so far?
Yeah. How have I benefited from you?
Yeah.
I brought you a form. Oh, wait, you already have one.
Well, that's right.
Oh, shit. That's right. Never mind. Scratch that.
I'll bring you a beer.
Yes!
Oh,
All right.
good idea.
No, I like it, Drew. I've always liked Drew. He is our Beer Jeopardy liaison, among other things, and a wonderful incumbent. As I said, you can go to homebrewersassociation.org. You can read profiles of all of them, including Drew's. You can read all about why he wants to run in addition to what you just heard here.
Right.
So, all right, Drew, thanks, man. I appreciate you spending the time with us, and I wish you luck, good sir.
Well, thank you, and I hope I'll see you in Minneapolis.
Are you going to be there then?
Yes.
Good.
Absolutely.
We will see you there. Don't forget, by the way, that Drew also has a book out. You got to get in your plugs where you can, Drew.
That's true, Drew.
The Everything Homebrew book by Drew Beecham is on store shelves now. I have a copy myself. Another great book in it's Everything Homebrew.
That's true. And if when the second edition comes out, if you need someone to write the foreword, I'm here for you.
JP's there for you, Drew.
I'll be right there.
He's got you on speed dial.
Yeah.
Hey, how about the Falcons? About those Falcons? Anything coming up with you guys?
We actually have we have our next competition of the year, and of course, a BN member won our first competition of the year, and just brewed at Eagle Rock Brewing Company last weekend.
Cool.
But our next competition of the year is the Mayfair, and that's like in its 34th, 35th year, and God, I don't even know anymore.
Wow.
And the entries are basically due in early April, and it will be up on our website in short order. And we're redoing our style guidelines, so we have things like a wild ale category, Belgian IPA, black IPA, a few other things going in that you can enter.
Hey, did black IPA just become a style officially? I thought I heard.
No, I mean I don't know if it's kind of a BJCP style, but it has just become an official Falcon style.
Okay. It's an official Falcon style.
Yeah, we're notoriously cranky bastards, and we maintain our own style guidelines.
I like that too.
Being kind to yourselves.
I'm cool with that, man. I say F the rest. If you're not giving me what I want, I'm just going to do it myself.
Got our own style guide.
Yeah, I dig that. The Falcon style guideline.
Absolutely.
The FJCP.
Yeah, it's 27 categories of love or something now.
I'll be sending down a black IPA.
Sweet.
All right.
I'll make sure to put it in the sun first.
Yeah, right. The usual treatment.
Jeez.
All right, Drew, good luck, and thank you.
All right, thank you, guys.
Cheers,
Have yourselves a good night.
You too. Drew Beecham, everybody, the incumbent. And tell ya, talks a good game.
He should be out there like at the Vons, kissing babies or something like that.
Yeah, like nobody even knows who the hell, what he's talking about.
Wouldn't that be great? That'd be a great little BN video.
should get me out at the Target.
Yeah.
Doing it. All right. Don't forget, you do need to be an AHA member to vote, and you can do that through our homepage. It helps us help you. Just click the AHA logo right there on thebrewingnetwork.com, sign up to be a member, and then you can go vote. You have until, I think it's the 30th, like midnight on the 30th. Does that sound right to you guys?
Sounds great to me.
It's either March 30th or...
It's probably March.
Here, I have it on my very own homepage. How
September
about that?
30th.
Yeah, deadline is September 30th.
Deadline. Oh, I didn't even put it in my own write-up. I'll have to fix that.
Figures.
Oh, there we go. No, here we go. I did put it in there.
Yeah.
Voting ends midnight Pacific time, March 31st.
31st.
March
End of the month.
31st.
Okay.
Midnight on the 31st.
We will give you an extra
Put
day.
that on your calendar, then and listen to all the statements, and then vote.
Yeah.
Decide
Now, if
for
you vote,
yourself.
don't you get entered into the contest to win a...
Yep.
What?
Go to the
Short
Seabowl.
course or something?
Yeah.
Seabowl Institute?
You do. No, yes, that's right. You win the Lallemand Scholarship to go to the, I think it's the Brewer Short Course at the Siebel Institute.
In Chi-Town.
Yeah. So, only vote. I don't get in on that too? Only voters get in on that?
You can vote.
You can vote, dude.
Is it all right to vote for myself?
No.
That's something you have to decide.
That is a moral
Personally?
issue.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk about it, though.
Oh.
So if you were on the ballot, Tasty...
would I vote for myself?
Would you...
No, I would not.
You get 4 votes, so you still get to vote for 3 people that you want. Would you not vote for yourself?
I probably would, just for karma's sake or something.
Because my question is...
If I really wanted
why
to win.
would you run if you didn't feel like you should be on the board, right? So I feel like I should give myself my own vote.
That
Doesn't the
makes sense.
president give himself his own vote?
I'm sure they do.
No, well, yeah, they might, but they always make a big deal about it, especially in gubernatorial races,
right?
Where it's I'm going to vote for the other guy. It's kind of just a
they do,
yeah, just to show that there's it's a fairness thing where we're going to vote for each other, so our votes kind of cancel out anyway.
It sounds fake to me, though.
It's a well-known
fake.
thing.
It's bullshit. I mean,
that's why it's a secret.
The truth is, I would not have accepted the nomination if I didn't want to be on the governing committee.
Yeah,
so
but
why
your
would
vote,
I be fake about it?
You're not being fake. You're just being polite to the other guy, and you're counting on your constituents to vote you in. Like if you have to get elected by your vote,
right,
then you shouldn't be running in the first place.
So what if I don't vote for me then, and then I lose by 1 vote?
then that would be funny.
It'd be a great story.
Then I'd feel like a big dick.
Yeah, well.
You know?
That's not new.
Oh.
That's true.
That's not nice.
It's better than feeling like a little dick.
Jipper.
Yeah.
If you were nominated and you were on this, would you vote for yourself?
No.
You would not.
Oh, totally not.
You'd use all 4 votes on other people.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Could you use all 4 votes on yourself?
Can I do that?
No, the form doesn't allow for that.
Says the homeschool girl.
Can I just vote for my fan page to be nominated?
That you can do. You can join your own fan page.
Chad, what would you do? Would you vote for yourself or not?
Absolutely.
I'd like to take listener calls about whether or not I should vote for myself. In the meantime, I have another call on here.
I would like to take listener calls, but we have one already.
but the line's busy.
Yes.
Krupp from Michigan's calling in for Drunk of the Week. Hey, Krupp.
Hey, guys. It's Krupp. How you doing?
It's doing well.
He
Krupp.
spelled it to me.
Hey, you know what? Vote for yourself, Justin. I did.
Yeah? Oh,
I
you
voted
did?
for you.
When you ran, you voted?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, you voted for me.
No, I voted for you, yeah.
And you wouldn't
I don't know if you're aware. I mean, I'm sure you're completely aware of everything you've done for this community. At least for myself, man. The Brewing Network has been incredible for a lot of guys that I know, and at least for myself. So, pat yourself on the back, man.
Hey, thanks, brother. I appreciate that. Well, maybe I'll pat myself on the back by voting for myself. Yeah.
There you go, man. Fuck everybody else.
Justified.
I can't say that until after the election.
Right on. Right. I'm calling about. I mean, I just finished up. I'm the competition organizer for the Homebrew at the Web out of Frankenmuth, Michigan.
Oh yeah.
We just finished up today, and we had a couple BNers do pretty well, and I wanted to kind of give them a pat on the back too.
Good.
Wilberding, Uniball, that was in your studio.
Oh, Uniball. He won?
Uniball, yeah. I mean, he's a dedicated judge. Yeah.
Cool.
Dedicated judge. Brought home some hardware for cider.
How long did it take him to get his judge results back? Sorry.
He's still waiting. All right, JP, are you happy?
No.
Sore spot.
It takes time, JP. It takes time.
Yeah.
Whiny bitch.
I don't have.
It's true. You might
Mills. Mills is another hardcore BNer, and he brought home 4 honorable mentions.
Really?
3 bronze, 2 silvers, and a gold.
Holy shit. Mills. Wow.
Serious. He tore it up.
I think I
Mike
met
out of
Mills
Connecticut.
in Florida the first time is when I met Mills. It was years ago.
Sounds about right.
Anyway, carry on.
He's a hell of a brewer and a great judge.
All right.
And then Mike Kellett out of Connecticut brought home a bronze.
Oh, there you go, Chad.
Silver.
Nice.
And Pat Hyde brought home a silver and 2 honorable mentions. So, I mean, we had some hardcore BN representation.
I like it.
They showed up there.
This sounds great. Love to
And
hear.
I want to let JP know that I have a poster up in my office that says WWJPD.
JPD?
What would JP do?
I see. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
You know the answer to that.
No,
Bitch about it and walk out is what he would do.
I mean, that's stupid because the thing is, when you ask...
It's not stupid, it's about me.
When you ask what would Jesus do, it's always like, you might have to think about it. But when it's what would JP do, well, he'd fucking stay home and play World of Warcraft.
Well, if you think about it, what would Jesus do? He gave up. He said, "No, don't bother saving me. I'm gonna die. I want to. No, don't worry about it."
So it's similar to what would JP do,
right?
Give up.
Don't look at me like that. This is my own opinion.
Your
He gave
opinion
up.
is terrible, and Jesus is crying right now.
You wouldn't be sitting in my office looking at a sign, that's for sure.
Yeah.
There goes our Bible Belt listeners.
Right. Nice work, JP.
Well, yeah.
Awesome. But I'll throw my head in for DOTW, too. I mean, I started drinking about 7 o'clock your time.
Okay. My
With
time?
our competition.
That was
your time.
That
So
was
it's
50 minutes ago.
AM.
Oh, I see.
AM.
He's drunk. He's not a
11
mathematician.
hours and 50
I got it.
minutes.
We did our calibration beer at just before 10 o'clock our time,
Mm-hmm.
and been going at it since.
You sound pretty sober, though.
It's been a long day.
You had a little break in
yourself
between.
sober.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You start to drink yourself sober after a while, I think.
Are you still drinking now, or you're on the water now?
Nope, I'm actually just finishing up the last of the growlers from the that I brought home from the competition.
All right. Okay, I'll put you in the running, brother.
All right.
All right, thank you, fellas. Thanks a lot for letting me talk forever.
Hey, thanks for the call. I appreciate it.
Thanks for everything you guys do, man. Thanks for everything you guys do.
You're welcome. Cheers, man. Thanks for listening.
He is kind of a grateful drunk right now.
Yeah, I like
you guys are awesome. Really, really.
Buy him a beer.
He even liked you.
He talked about me. I don't think he liked me.
Yeah. All right, 888-401-BEER. That's the number. We'll take Drunk of the Week calls, and we'll also take calls of whether or not I should vote for myself. We can do them simultaneously.
Hey, isn't there some new news coming out of New York City as well?
Yeah, I got that here on the list, too. This one's interesting.
That wasn't set up at all. Hey, don't you have this thing to talk about?
I don't want you to
right
forget.
now?
That's all.
Tasty
It's big
chat
news
over there.
It's big news.
It is big news. I was reading through this story. So
big news.
Apparently, there's this big Italian mafia thing happening in New York. You heard
Wait,
about this?
What?
Well, it's more of a brewer's mafia, if you will.
Okay.
Apparently, Sam Calagione from Dogfish, Cilurzo
From the Dogfish family?
from Russian River,
Yeah.
and a couple of actual Italian
Real
dudes
Italians from Italy.
from Italy,
A couple of madrules.
along with this Mario Batali guy.
Uh-oh.
You know the Batali guy.
The
You've seen him on.
The redheaded attack. Right, yeah, the redheaded.
You've seen him on the Food
Yeah.
Network and all that.
The Batalis are a vicious family.
So they're they're opening up a brew pub together. The four of them. What? The four brewers, and then along with the Batali guy and another chef, they're opening up it has a weird name.
The Don Gabrazzis. Luca Brazzi.
Italy.
Yeah.
They're opening up Italy. Not Italy. Go ahead, JP. Not Italy. They're opening up Italy in.
The Italians went for that, believe it or not.
Yeah,
Sounds so Americanized.
Yeah, it does sound Americanized. The Italians went for that.
Were the two Italians in a coma?
No, but they're opening up this. So it's a rooftop brew pub in New York City,
Right.
where they will sort of all work on the recipes together, and then they also will all come and brew there time to time. The four brewers, and then downstairs there will be several different food locations, like a food court, if you will, but probably not like the mall
Not like
kind,
in a
but
mall.
more like a slow food kind of food court, where there's several different food locations where they're pairing beer with food. It's going to be this whole Italy thing. I don't know. It's good news, I guess.
It is.
I went to a food court in the mall once, and a rat ran by my foot.
I don't think it's going to be like that. A food court was for lack of a better term. Don't think of it as a food court.
And then the custodian came by and sweeped it into a dustpan.
It's Pinole for you.
Yeah.
But I mean, this
No,
is
it
like
was in
right
LA.
on. This is right on like Fifth Avenue. I mean, you're gonna
It's
have
in
views
Manhattan.
of Empire State Building. I mean, this is
I
pretty
like
cool.
the concept. The name sucks.
You don't like Italy?
Italy. It's retarded. Italy?
Well, it's
Italy.
Italy, I don't know.
It must be like a.
I mean, obviously, it's a whole. That's why I say it's like this Italian mafia thing. It's all of them together, and
Yeah.
they're all Italian.
No, you don't go against the family. Yeah, I know the code. I'm just saying that they're
Italy.
creative guys, and Italy sounds like a Mario Batali, focus more than anything for some reason. I don't know.
I think maybe it's one of those names that'll
Whatever.
grow on you. I think after a little while, you go, oh, yeah, I've been to Italy.
I have enough things growing on me. I don't need an Italy to do. But I love the thing, and I'm sure it'll be awesome.
The rooftop bar and restaurant will house a copper-clad brewing system, and the idea is to create an artisanal, old-world Italian craft brewery that just happens to be located in the rooftop in Manhattan. So I kind of like the idea. I'm curious about the beers coming out of there. Two of those brewers I know, good brewers. One of them I know well. So
you know it's going to be quality beer and probably really good food. I mean, it's great.
At Italy.
Yeah, just don't say where it is.
I think that's like the fourth restaurant that Mario Batali has in New York.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, and he's got a couple in L.A. and some in Las Vegas.
It's a pretty big name hookup for those guys to connect with Batali.
And this partner of his, they've done several places. And I'm sure this is going to be probably as successful as the rest.
Oh,
that Vinny, he's sneaky. He sat right in here. He didn't mention Italy to me.
That was all under his hat.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy. I don't know what happened there. He doesn't know that I come from the Italian name, too? Huh? I got some Italian background
Crosley,
there.
meaning to hide.
No, that was an adopted name.
No.
So there's Sabrelli.
Sabrelli?
That's the Italian name back there.
Wow.
How about that?
I didn't even know that.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no vowel.
I bet if I told him that, he would have told me about Italy.
He's like, Paisan!
Oh, we're opening Italy! Italy, huh?
You come to the premiere of Italy!
Come on, rooftop!
Yeah.
Italy! Sam! Me!
Mario!
Italian!
Yeah.
Mario! We're going to Italy!
Yeah! Traditional Italian custom. We throw tomato at each other. Italy!
I fucked it up. I should have told him I'm a Sabrelli. I could have gotten the scoop. He's looking at me like I'm some Pacheco idiot.
Yeah.
I could have told you about Italy. You and me, we could go open Italy.
But no, I have to go to Calgione.
You might have opened it with me.
You guys, this is just getting gayer by the second. Can you just stop?
You break my heart when you say that about Italy. You break. Look at my face.
Oh.
It's crossed with tears. You break my heart.
Talk that way about Italy.
Yeah.
When you say Italy, you say it with respect.
It's on my family. It's on my family.
Did your chair just break?
I'm back to normal now.
Back to normal.
Respect. Huh?
I slapped that off of your face.
Like, it's not even really funny. It's just kind of sad to watch.
I know, I agree. I can't wait to go to Italy.
My mic is off. Italy. I'm screaming at it. How dare you interrupt my Italy conversation, audio pod. Dare you.
Okay, I think I have a phone call.
Making me cry.
Whew.
Your grandmother cried too, and she's dead.
Joshua from Santa Maria is on the phone now.
Oh, Santa Maria!
Joshua!
JP, you're killing me.
I might have to if you do not visit Italy.
Yeah, I'd be worried about it. You don't complain about the food at Italy, I'll tell you that right now.
This is really good.
Mario, I love it. Your best work.
Great.
Wow.
Put the bat away.
Oh, I never had mac and cheese like this.
Yeah.
All right. Josh, what can we do
All
for
right,
you?
hey, Justin,
Yeah.
vote for yourself, dude. You got 3 other votes to give to other people.
Yeah, you think it's all right? You don't think it's a douche move?
No, and when you got 4 votes, it's not a douche move.
Yeah.
Besides, in American politics, you think politicians don't go behind the curtain and vote for themselves?
That's what I think, too. And listen, who am I to break American dirty politics tradition? Right?
Selfishness.
I got to get in there and be a douche just like these guys.
You should go plant heroin on Drew.
Oh, they got to play for a plane ticket now and then to get you somewhere to go someplace cool or what?
I'm going to give everybody tickets to Italy if you vote for me. Huh?
The VIP room.
Everybody goes to Italy.
You have to pay, but you go.
All right, Josh, thank you. I will vote for myself. Well, I'll take a few more calls. Let's see.
Yeah.
Hey, what about Lunch Meat Olympics, JP?
What about him, dude? March 5th.
March 5th? We're on. Okay, I'm taking the day off.
Nice.
All right.
See you guys then.
Great. Now it's committed. Now he's set it here. Thanks, Josh. All right, 888-401-Italy. I hope that's their number.
You know what's cool? They have pictures. They actually brewed like a homebrew batch together.
Did they?
Like Sam's 15-gallon system, the kegels.
I'm not buying that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I got
mention the
pictures
brand.
right here. It's pretty neat.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There's actual photographs of it?
All 4 of them.
On Sam's page.
Yeah. Dogfish.com.
Did you just say kegels?
Yes.
It's not like cankles, Bevo.
Yeah, don't get excited.
Like a kettle, but it's a keg?
It's a keg that you turn into a kettle.
You know, it's
Converted beer
vagina
keg is just
exercises.
way too much.
Sorry.
Those are Kegels.
Sorry, Bevo.
Oh, whatever. I don't
What
know
are they
they're called.
called?
Kegels. It's like your Kegel muscle.
How do you do a Kegel? What do you do?
Remember
clench.
that? Yeah, you clench.
Like, could you be doing it right now, or you
I
have to
am
be
doing it right now.
10 more and you're going to hear because there's some excitement.
I have a call.
He was doing Kegels for the last hour.
That's how she moves Sam when he's drunk. She just puts his head in her vagina and clinches and drags him to the room like a mother
One
leopard.
big long Kegel.
How the hell do you know what Kegels are, JP?
I do my research, man. I know what's happening.
Like the Bevo's doing them right now. Do you think they work?
Remember that story we covered? The woman in Russia who could lift like 100 pounds with her vagina?
I think I remember that.
Yeah, that's what she did. That she did Kegel exercises.
She sat around doing Kegels.
Yeah.
So you just clench?
You just clench like you have to like hold your pee in. I think she even like says it.
Does it work with your balls then too?
What do you make your balls lift? I don't know.
I'm trying to lift them, yeah.
Yeah, you can lift them in. I think it works with your hold back your release thing.
All right, you can read all about the 2 American and 2 Italian brewers opening their brew pub Italy on the Brookston Beer Bulletin right now. Go over to brookstonbeerbulletin.com. It was the top story earlier today, so you might be able to check it out over there.
And Wikipedia for Kegels.
Yeah, Wikipedia if you want to read about it.
Yeah. Or AdamandEve.com.
Kegling.
Adam and Eve.
Should open a whole gym. You know, there's like a gym around everything now, right? There's like a stair gym, and this gym should be
how
all
many
Kegel
especially in this
the
area.
tightest uteruses in town.
Oh man,
24-hour Kegel.
Right? Like you could be, there's the ones that do the yoga, and what's the other thing where you
Pilates?
The Pilates.
Mrs. Push does that.
Why can't you have a Kegel studio?
You should.
I could teach that.
How many cougars would go into the Kegel studio?
Why would you need to have a studio when you could be sitting in a room full of creepy men and...
Why would you need to go to the gym when you could buy a Stairmaster?
That's a good point,
I know.
actually.
Bevo, how often do you do Kegels?
I don't know.
Like all day? Because
No.
you have a desk job, right?
No, not anymore.
Oh. What do you mean? What happened?
I got a promotion.
Because she's been doing Kegels.
So what? What do you do? Yeah, because the vagina is strong. We move you up now.
Yeah.
Huh?
Your promotion.
No, the vagina is strong.
You are not a soldier anymore. You
What
are
do you
a
do
woman.
now?
I'm a head medical assistant to our corneal specialist, and I'm in charge of our medical mission to Guatemala.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's all you do now is
The
work
fuck
on
does that
going to
even
Guatemala?
mean?
She's on a
And
mission.
I like screen all the patients that come in to see the corneal specialist.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Wait,
So
When
it's
are you
more
going?
medical, less reception.
are you going to Guatemala?
Yeah, next year.
I see. That sounds very noble.
Are you going to dress up like Harry Potter?
I don't know that they would appreciate it.
They might. By that time, they'll get it down there.
They'll have an opening.
Yeah.
Harry Potter, the first one.
Yeah. They're poor. What do they know?
It's referred to as the Sorcerer's Stone.
Great. Go back to your Kegels.
Or the Philosopher's Stone.
All right, Evan and his wife are calling in for a joint drunk of the week from,
we never had
from
this, have we?
Seattle. I don't know if we ever have had a joint drunk of the week. Evan.
Hi.
Oh, he's not screaming the C word at us.
Yeah, how are you, brother?
I'm okay.
All right,
I have one thing to add to the conversation we've been having so far.
go ahead.
Cock!
Thank you.
Thank you.
We needed some of that in there.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Is your wife smiling or holding her head in shame?
He's got to look.
I can't really tell.
She just said it.
She just yelled it, too.
Yeah.
So are you calling in for a joint drunk of the week?
We're trying.
All right.
We're doing our best. We feel it's been brought in weak so far, so
Yeah. Has been brought in that
it can
way.
only go up from here.
Okay. Let me talk to the old lady.
All right. That usually gets points, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
that
Usually.
helps.
We'll see.
That helps.
Yeah.
If you want to shoot right to the top, you put me to the old lady.
All right. All right. Well, here she is.
Thank you.
We take the speaker?
Here she is.
We take the speaker? Hi.
Hello. Are you calling in for joint drunk of the week?
Sure, yeah. We're doing like a combo deal here.
What do you know about
2 for 1.
What do you know about Kegels?
It's Kegel.
Kegels. What do you know about
Kegel?
What do you know about
I think
Kegels?
it's Kegel.
I think it's an A sound.
It's Kegels.
JP says
Kleagle
it's
sounds
Kleagle.
very technical and smart stuff.
So, but you know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Is this a regular thing? Like, is this a normal thing that you people do?
Yeah, Cosmo tells us all how to do it. Yeah, you learn in like the 6th grade when you start reading Cosmo.
I see.
We didn't have to read a magazine.
I should have started reading Cosmo a long time ago.
Very, very technical. Can be done anywhere. It's magical.
All right. What have you had to drink tonight?
What did we have to drink? He poured everything. I don't know. Hennepin.
Mm-hmm.
And what else? Beer de Mars. Yeah. That one from Mars. And then
good. We had beer from Mars today.
Lagunitas, cappuccino, stout. I had a Dogfish Head pumpkin ale.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Flying Dog Gonzo. Had a little bit of that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, really, really diacetyl 8 Mile Alt. Actually, no, I can't count that. I didn't drink that one. I just smelled it. Evan kind of drank it. Then he poured it out.
Just called that out, didn't you?
Yeah. Go easy on him.
Evan's wife's
Wait,
hot,
what
by
else?
the way. She's got tattoos and stuff.
Oh, and then we had a Maripon. Is that what I'm drinking now? I'm drinking Maripon now.
I like that beer. So you've had a few.
Yeah.
You're feeling all right.
A couple, yeah, doing okay.
You got to work in the
Doing
morning?
okay. I do. It's the saddest story of my life.
Is it? All right, I'll put you guys in the running. I'll tell you, nobody sounds too drunk tonight. You sound drunker than Krupp. I'll tell you that. Krupp.
Yeah, well, totally.
Yeah.
Usually I don't really catch a buzz on Sundays, but I was just kind of going for it.
Okay.
But I broke the number one rule and I ate, which really kind of fucked me.
Yeah, that'll put you right back down. That is a fail. I can hear him in the background now.
I know. Well, he ate too, so, I mean,
Fail
really
on
was like
both
a
of you.
double fail.
Okay.
But
well,
okay, so Memorial Weekend, though, I don't have to work on Monday, and I'm going for it. Just like 100%, no eating, just all drinking. I'm
good.
calling in.
That a girl. Okay, well then,
I'm in it to win it.
You're all right. Memorial Day weekend. We'll wait to hear it.
Okay, sounds
All right.
good.
You guys are in the running this week either way. Thank you.
Right on.
Later. There you go. Evan and wife from Seattle.
Winners.
The duo. You want to call them wieners?
We can.
Didn't he win last week? Last time we were on the air?
That was Jeopardy. Oh, did he call back?
He might have also won Drunk of the Week. I forget.
Someone wants to know if we're taking calls for Hangover of the Week.
Sure. Why not?
All right, Maynard.
We'll take it. But we're wrapping up here, so make them quick. I got to make some pasta.
Pasta
It's not a joke. It's not a joke, actually. I actually got to make some pasta.
Really do.
I'll just take the calls directly. It's all right, JP. Caller, you're on the air. Who are we talking to? Yeah, that's you, caller. Who are we talking to?
Hello.
All right, apparently, you're going to have to answer and screen the calls, JP. Sorry about that. It didn't work out.
Me?
Didn't work out
What
very
did I
well.
do?
I don't know. You switched places with Bevo.
Yeah, it did.
I don't know why. I thought you just switched screener.
I
things.
can. All right, you want me to screen it?
Yeah, screen it.
First of all, don't tell me what to do.
But tell him how to screen things, Bevo. All right, anything else on my list here, Chad, that I'm forgetting besides Belgian Candy Sugar giveaway and Drunk of the Week? I think that's it, right?
That would be it.
Got the beer news done.
Next week we're off.
Got our sponsors
Yeah.
done. Yeah, we are off next week. It's our off week. I know you feel like last week was an off week, but it wasn't. We were working at the Celebrator party. We just couldn't get it was loud in that room, and there was no audio to be done. I did post a video. If you didn't see it yet, it's on the BN Army blog. It's also over on our Facebook page. All right, Facebook. You can hang
JP
that up
hung
now.
up. No, he hung up on the person.
I hit
think that I should take my
Can you
seat
go
back.
back to please screening?
I would be happy
I don't know
to.
what happened there anyway.
Yeah, it was a great event last week, by the way, too.
The Celebrator party?
It was a lot of fun.
It was a good time.
Yeah. Even Rob Widmer was there pouring their black IPA.
I didn't have that.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah?
I think it won a medal, GBF or something.
Really?
Oh.
Can I just say that I was at a dry wedding?
You're the idiot who agrees to that thing, Bevo.
She's my best friend from high school.
But the wedding
So
night wasn't
what?
very
Nobody
dry.
cares about their high school. You went to homeschool.
Homeschool.
What was
I
it your
did
mother?
one
Was your
year of
neighbor.
Your mother
homeschool.
got remarried last week?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I'm answering the phone. No,
you.
I'm not. It's Pritchard's. Just answer it. He's probably calling for Drunk of the Week.
Okay. Richards, what's happening?
How'd you know it was me?
Caller ID.
Bevo's real smart.
You're very smart.
Yeah.
Drunk of the week?
The FBI is taping you.
Hey, I say vote for yourself and don't look back, man.
Yeah, think so.
Fuck everyone else.
See, I don't want that attitude about it. I just want to know. So you don't think it's douchey to put in my own name for my own self?
Of course not.
It's real douchey.
Like you're saying, you're running for a reason. You know that you should have that position, so why not vote for yourself? It doesn't make any sense to vote for somebody else, I don't think.
Okay. See that, JP?
I do, but he's a douche.
Yeah, but you're a douche.
But,
I know, and that's
again,
what I'm saying.
a douchebag. What do I know?
See, I know what being a douche is, and if I did that, it would be douchey, so I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, but I didn't ask about if you had done it. Well, I did ask that, but that question's gone now.
No.
If I did it, would it be douchey? That's different.
Yeah, it would. It'd still be douchey.
Yeah?
Yeah, kind of. Because you have to count on the people who care about you to vote you in.
My own staff in here shuns me when I say I'm nominated. I got to count on you people, the people who care about me.
I'll tell you what, I'll change my vote, and I will vote for you.
No, I don't want your sympathy vote, Tasty.
Well, I got to tell you, I wasn't really sold on your speech. Man.
I didn't give a speech.
That's why.
I'm not a member, so I don't count.
You should be a member.
I say lead by example and say, do what I do, vote for me just like I just did.
Oh, see, that's a bumper sticker right there.
Do you really want people following in this guy's shoes, though, Richard? And this guy's Crocs?
He makes a good point, Richard. All right.
I like the Cantina T-shirt, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Oh, you can see it on the webcam. That's right. Nice. Yeah. Got one of the last ones at the shop there. I had to sell this spot, my T-shirt. Last year I was rocking the Ninkasi shirt.
Yeah.
I had to sell my T-shirt every Sunday.
Dude, we should be like European soccer, man.
Yeah. All right, do you want in for a Drunk of the Week too, Richards, or just calling to...
I do. Yes, I do, sir.
What have you had?
Oh, I've had some hydromel that I made. I had a Bigfoot, one of the 2010 Bigfoot barley wines.
What's hydromel?
It's like honey grown with water.
9000. I had a collaboration beer from Three Floyds, and Dogfish had that Old Bruin, or Alt Brown.
Italy.
From the Pop Skull.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty good. I had a big long brew day today, so I've been drinking for a long time.
He does sound the drunkest.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sleepy tired. I'm trying to sleep away this back pain.
Oh.
Or drink away. I should go to sleep. So I
don't even know what to do.
Yeah. Need some Percocet or something.
I do. I need some.
All right. I'll put you in the running. Thank you.
Thanks.
Later, brother. Bye. Everybody says vote for myself. Jip.
Well, not everybody.
I think just because you guys aren't going to do it is reason that I should do it. I gotta make up for...
Oh, all these fucking feelings again.
I know.
Jesus, just vote for yourself.
Well, in the past...
What's going to happen? The world's going to stop?
In the past...
Well, maybe. What do I know?
Yeah.
This has never happened before.
In the past, we've only gotten 3 votes. But now we got 4 votes. I'll blow one on you. That's fine.
I really don't want to offend anybody.
They're not worth much.
Just do it.
JP just said he'd blow you.
He did.
I'd blow one on you, I guess.
Pretty sure he said he'd blow me. All right, I got to go.
Yeah, we got to go.
So here's what we got. We got Croup.
No.
We got Evan and Wife.
Maybe.
Oh, I think I owe like 3 prizes anyway.
Yeah.
And then we got Britchards there at the end.
I say Evan and Wife and Britchards get Jart Candy Sugar. That's my vote.
That's 3 winners, technically.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but Evan and Wife were the joint one, so that's 1 winner of Drunk of the Week.
But there's only 1 Drunk of the Week.
Yeah, and then Britchards for runner-up gets Candy Sugar.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because we have to give away Candy Sugar, don't we?
Picking up what you're laying down.
One more. It's Brew Chemist from Westminster, Colorado.
All right.
I do like Brew Chemist, though.
Hello, Brew Chemist.
What's going on?
What can we do for you?
First of all, I want to give you some advice as far as the elections going.
Okay.
Drop out.
I'm all ears. Yeah. Run.
I'd vote for yourself because that's pretty douchey, and, well, that's right along the line to what the BN's all about.
You know what?
That's
good
the best
turnaround.
argument
Yes.
so far.
Point.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
But yeah, I just want to put in my name for DOTW.
All right. What have you had?
I had a couple of Lagunitas brown sugar.
2.
Well, that'll do it right there.
You're done.
Yeah, and then I had some of my clone beer from the Can You Brew It.
Which one?
That turned out around like 10% alcohol.
Oh.
Which beer was
brown
it?
sugar, huh? Nice.
Brown sugar again.
It's like 4 brown sugars.
Oh, right.
So, yeah, that's doing pretty well. And then I had a couple of wit, that's what's in my fridge right now. So I drank that.
So I drank it.
I had it around, so I went and had it.
That
I had
was
to clean
being,
out the fridge, you know?
That was being done sitting in the fridge, and so I done drunkened it.
I had a steak from last year, had that too.
done eated it.
Done ate that.
Yeah. I ate it all kinds of up.
Put on some moldy yogurt.
Slurped it on that up.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Hells yeah. Shit. Motherfucker. What's this guy's name again?
Italy.
I don't remember.
Yeah, Italy.
Yeah.
Italy or brew chemist. Either one. That works.
All right. I'm going to call you Italy for now.
Eat a chemist.
I say Italy wins Drunk of the Week. Italy is our...
that's a lot of brown sugar.
Yeah, that is a lot of brown sugar.
Glad I took this call.
You are going to get some Belgian candy sugar,
some more
courtesy
sugar.
of Dark Candy Inc., and then you'll be able to make some more high-alcohol beers, but it'll taste great. I only ask that you give us a report after we send you the Belgian candy sugar, and you use it. Let us know how the beer goes, will you?
Send us a beer.
All right.
All right, brother. Congratulations. You are our Drunk of the Week.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Cheers,
well
man.
Deserved.
Yeah.
Go berserk, is that what you said?
Good job.
I said well deserved. But go berserk, too.
Go berserk.
Yeah.
All right, so we're done.
Are we?
Really? No more Italian accent stuff? How about another hour of that?
Italy.
I think Mike is getting a little... He's done with it.
Oh, man, I enjoyed it, actually.
Poor Tasty. He sends me that story like we're going to do a big nice thing for his boy Vinny.
Yeah.
What do we do? We shit all over it.
Oh, I had no problem with it.
No, I think it's going to be a great place.
Of course it'll be.
I'm going to go to it. Yeah, I mean, come on. Beer from them alone. Yeah. And then you got that other Batali guy making food.
Yeah.
Nah.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
That's right. All right, everybody, no show next week. Keep that in mind, but we are back the following Sunday, and we'll be back with more AHA Governing Committee nominees from here until election time. We'll get all of their voices heard here on the show. And, thanks to our sponsors and et cetera, et cetera. We're good, right?
That's right.
That was good. I think that covers it contractually.
Okay, perfect. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week, or the week after that.
The week after that.
Right, thank you.
March 5th.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Should know how to get down. Double and triple on my best friend. I think I'll have them all over again. But don't you give me that American truth. For the one a real homebrew. Homebrew, don't you really love that homebrew? Can't get enough of it. Homebrew, it blows my mind. I love homebrew all of the time. Yeah, I think I'll have me. Well, I'll have me one right now. Summer day, a bark will do me when the skies are gray. I'll take a Belgian brew anytime, and the women think the lamb is fine. But don't you give me that American crude, boys, I want a real homebrew. Homebrew, don't you really love it that homebrew? Can't get enough of it. Homebrew, it blows my mind. I love homebrew all of the time. Yeah, I think I'll have me, well, I'm the one right now. Cherry stout, yeah, you know what I am talking about. But don't you give me that American crude, boys, I want a real homebrew. Homebrew, don't you really love that homebrew? Can't get enough of it. my